What's up, y'all? How we doing? How are we doing? I'm a little bit under the weather, so I'm going to be bundled up today. That's what I get for hanging around a bunch of family gatherings. It's that time of year. Some really nasty bugs going around. So, excuse me, I'll try to use the cough button. Last night I really struggled to use the cough button on the show, and I think that was pretty disruptive to the live stream, so I apologize to anybody that experienced that. Hey, I got Dr. Fax here.
You.
I got Nolan here. I got Cowboy Reed here. Bo's inside the computer. And
Hello!
holy
I'm in
shit,
here.
the boy's torqued. And then we got Tanner behind the
Mountain Dew
machines.
Code Red. Look at this.
You got a
this?
code red?
Yeah.
What's good
Chris,
with the code red?
If you're sick, get yourself a Mountain Dew Code Red. I got mono in college really bad. One time my roommate randomly brought me a 2-liter of Code Red. I was cured in like 4 days.
Did you ever get mono, Nate?
It only took 4 days.
Thank God.
What kind of white
pretty
guy
quick.
thing?
I think it is the kissing disease, right?
The kissing disease.
But yeah, never.
Vax doesn't kiss.
Never got mono.
That's what dudes used to tell me when I got mono in college. I don't think I kissed anybody. I think I just got mono the good old fashioned way.
I
Drinking
did.
after somebody at the bar. I don't think it was.
I was a
kissing
bar
thing.
kisser.
Yeah. Well, yeah, mono was terrible, dude. I lost like 30 pounds with mono. It was in the middle of football season. And then I remember like they were like, yeah, you can't practice because you're going to rupture your spleen. And some of the coaches were like, what can you do today? And like, seriously, it was like one of those things. They were like, yeah, no, literally. The trainers were like, no, literally, like he can't. No.
Can't do it.
So anyways, yeah. Code Red, how much caffeine's in that thing?
Ooh, let me check. Hopefully a good amount. I'm about to get fucking torqued, boy. Caffeine.
Man, I'm jealous.
Oh, only 91 migs. So,
That's it?
you know.
What is
Yeah,
that,
but
like a cup of
nothing.
coffee?
Tom Cruise has shot down 91 MiGs in his career.
Yes, he has. That was a good one,
Nice.
Cowboy. That's a good one, Cowboy.
Dog of the day?
Dog of the day, dude. I totally like with everything that I've been dealing with the last 24. I kind of forgot about the dog of the day, so I apologize.
Bo, do you want to introduce the dog of the day?
Oh, I got a dog of the day. That is Duchess Pappardelle of Noodle. That is my niece, I guess you could say, if you're a fucking weirdo. But that is my sister's dog. She's a good dog. She's a Vizsla. It's a fun, fun breed.
great
Very energetic. Yeah, there's us
Vizsla?
watching the quad box. Yeah, pretty handsome breed of dogs. They're pointers too. So
Why does that ear
Little
look like a
Minnesota
testicle?
dog. I don't
Why
know.
does that dog
Chris.
ear have
I do
testicle
not
skin?
know. A
They
little
also-
veiny.
They don't shed, right? That's also a
No,
Vizsla
they do
fact.
not shed.
That's great.
Yeah, we had a bunch of Vizslas growing up. Here's another fun fact for everybody in the chat. Our Vizslas had crazy fucking names. So this is Duchess Pappardelle of Noodle. Goes by Poppy. Penelope Ann Lumpkins Jr. Allen III was our previous Vizsla. My dumbass little sister named that one. And then we had Ginger Pie Dancer Head Allen, which was our first Vizsla.
Ginger pie dancer head?
Also named by my sister. I don't know if you can pick up the trend here, but she basically names all of our dogs crazy fucking names.
Dude,
Yeah,
do
kinda
these dogs have personalities like that?
A little bit. Poppy is kind of. I mean, they're pretty energetic. I'm not gonna lie. She's still pretty young. She's like 2 now, I guess.
Looks like the type of dog
she
you like.
she doesn't have the old dog.
You got to
You know,
exercise it and that
instincts.
sort of thing.
The dog.
Oh yeah.
First things first, we got to shout out, Virginia football, because although Tanner brought us, I think he brought Nate this shirt, and then Nate just set it on my chair. But this is first team from Virginia to go to a college football playoff, which
Didn't bode well.
we'll just forget about how that went. It's a really nice T-shirt. We actually won our
Duke's not
postseason
Ducks.
game. We beat Mizzou, and boy, was it close. Wasn't it? Did you watch the end of that game?
Nope.
Buddy, I was convinced we were going to lose. When the ball was in the air, I was like, yeah, we're definitely going to lose.
Well, it was unreal that the starting quarterback had to leave the game for concussion symptoms. on the play before that final throw.
Oh, yeah.
And then a walk-on had to come and throw the Hail Mary to the end zone.
Yeah.
That was almost completed.
No, I know.
I was
it was a
actually
great-
happy about that when it happened. As soon as it happened, I was like, oh, he has to come out.
Oh, yeah.
He has to come out, and they don't have no timeouts.
No
And I
time.
was-
Great,
Oh, my God.
great PBU by Devin Neal. Shout out Devin Neal.
What a
Great.
terrible – was that his last game?
The Mizzou QB?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Even if it was or not, what a terrible way to end the season. Like, you having to come off
With a
the
bink
field,
and have to get off the field for a play.
have to come off for one play, and there's only one play left in the game.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
That's rough. That's rough.
Whether he was gonna, you still want the chance as a quarterback to
Yeah.
throw it up there, right? Like
Yeah.
you want to be the guy to throw it up.
Yeah. No,
And it's
no
like,
question.
damn.
He's a freshman, so he's got
okay.
a few more
Okay.
shots at it.
And that was a weird situation for me personally, having played in St. Louis, and there's a lot of Missouri fans. I was getting some tweets that were like, sorry, this week, I fucking hate you, that type of thing. But we got the win and exercised our demons, Facts, because now, well, I don't know if we had won in the Gator Bowl before, but me and Facts lost our only Gator Bowl. 0-1, Texas Tech, 8-foot splits between offensive linemen.
Yeah,
Actually, it might have been 9-foot splits.
yeah.
That was crazy. You remember the splits in that game, in those games?
Oh, do I?
Like legitimately, Mike Leach had those guys.
3 feet wide. I only played one snap in the first half of that game. I had a sack for a safety.
That was your one snap.
Yeah, because those stupid ass splits.
Usage rate, bro.
I lined up next to you, and like 3 old linemen, even with these splits, all just went
Those
to you.
motherfuckers.
Just had a free line.
Seriously, dude.
Graham Harrell
Graham Harrell, dude. Graham Harrell.
and Michael Crabtree ruined that game for us.
He did,
Jeez
dude.
Louise.
He ruined the game for us, and it like it was so bad that like I remember like a year later, we were just watching a Texas Tech game on like TV or something. And he scored like some crazy touchdown. And my wife was like, "Yo, that was a crazy play." I was like, "What the fuck did you say?"
Right?
Like we got in, like a little argument because that was still so fresh.
Oh my god.
I was like that was the worst day of our lives, man. That was awful. But yeah, now we got a Gator Bowl win. So shout out to the Wahoos, man.
Gator Bowl.
Somebody said nobody wants to hear about Virginia football. Chris, for real. Well, for real.
Amen.
Madam Priest, I really don't give a fuck what you have to say at all. You don't work at my company. You're not part of my family. I don't care about you. You can leave it in the suggestion box. Okay. Madam Priest, what do you want to hear about? We'll just let you lay this show out. All right, let's do let's start with the wackiest game of the day. To me, the Hemingway game was Bills Eagles. Okay, that was fucking wild. I would just say that, like, I don't know where you want me to start. Like, obviously, huge choke job by Josh Allen. Just a massive choke job on the last play of the game. And you can't play that way in the playoffs if you're Josh Allen. Like, there's no excuse for missing that throw. And, you know, like, honestly, and I'm hesitant to start with this because I know we should make it about the Eagles winning the game. Because there's a lot of things the Eagles did well, although they didn't complete a fucking pass in the second half. And, you know, Patullo looks as inept as ever. But, you know, the offensive line looked terrible in the second half. It was mind-numbing to watch Buffalo as close as they got in that game. I don't know who probably walks out of the game feeling better about themselves going into the playoffs, the Eagles or the Bills. The Eagles are now 42-2 or something when they win the turnover battle under with Jalen Hurts as the quarterback. Is that it was either with Jalen Hurts as the quarterback or with Sirianni as the head coach. And I think that kind of colors in a lot of why they played the game the way they played it. It was one of those things where we all look at that last play, and for Josh, you've got to make it. Point blank, period. And I could have an opinion on what the 2-point conversion call should have been or how they should have carried the end of the game that way. But, like, there was a lot that Josh did that put them in the position where they had to make that play. Like to me, it's not just about the 2-point play. There were situations in that game that he wasn't his best. And I will come back to that, but I wanted to start by saying that I think the number one thing that I have to talk about in this game is that the Eagles won this game by taking care of the football. Okay, like it's a monsoon out there. It's not an ideal situation for either of those quarterbacks. I'm not going to sit here, although Jalen in the second half did not complete a pass, and the offense, again, like it's the second time this year that's happened to him. I'm not going to sit here and dump on him because they did what they had to do to win the game. And it's not a news flash type situation that offense is hot and cold. That's who they are. You know, like we get so caught up in the narratives of like, you know, is this quarterback, you know, top 5? Is he top 10? Is he elite? Like, is he better than this? Dude, fuck all that. The Eagles, as bad as they played in some spots, they hit one shot to get down in the red zone. They capitalized with a touchdown. They kicked 2 field goals, and they did not put the ball on the ground. The Bills put the ball on the ground. And, you know, like, honestly, if you're talking about the currency that really, I don't know what the word would, if you're talking about, like, the currency this year in the playoffs, it is defense probably. I mean, we talk a lot about, like, the quality of the rosters and defenses. It's not a year for, like, all the elite quarterbacks are they've either taken a step back or they don't have the pieces around them. Right, so it's kind of like a weird year. A defense like the Eagles' defense can win you playoff games. And do I trust the Eagles' offense? Absolutely not. I don't. But the one thing they don't do most of the time is turn the ball over. And you heard that stat, 42-2 or something, when they win the turnover battle. If they don't do what they did in L.A. against the Chargers, like they are miraculously in a lot of these games. And so while I'm looking at the route concepts in the second half and going like, what the fuck are they doing? While I'm looking at the offensive line and saying, man, how the mighty have like fallen, dude. Like that the groups that catapulted them into the Super Bowl those 2 years, 2 of the best offensive lines this century, right? Like, and you can go across eras, but I would argue that like sustained success from our team to this team, like up to 24's team, that was an incredible sustained run of offensive line play. Like I got to say, like it would go down in history as maybe one of the best sustained runs of offensive line play, you know, in the NFL, especially in the modern era. They don't have that right now. They don't. When you watch Cam Jurgens play right now, I thought he came into the season probably not healthy. I'm not trying to make excuses for people. You know, people are always like, hey, you're making an excuse for somebody. No, I'm just giving you the context. I don't know that Cam's been healthy all year. I don't know that Landon's been healthy all year. I don't think Steen's a good, solid player, but he's not a world beater. And Fred Johnson is as good as he is. Boy, you should have seen. Did you see him get fucking pick TE? Did you see that pick TE, Nate?
Dude, he got thrown out the club.
Is that like
He
a
was
3-tech
pissed.
dream,
He was
bro?
pissed after.
He was
He was
so
so
mad.
mad.
But my girl's in there.
He was yelling at Jordan.
That's crazy.
That's how you get pissed.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers won't let me in. My
Yeah.
fucking girl got in.
Yeah.
You asshole. But it was just that, yeah, like when someone gets the best of you, and maybe he was mad that like someone didn't call it out, or it's just one of those things. You never like to be going backwards on a football field and you end up on your butt. It's never a good look. And then it's just, I feel like taking on that TE stunt is just for an old lineman. Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of like a staple of like stopping a run block, but stopping like that 2-man game.
Yep.
Is basically like a staple, a part of being an old lineman.
Well, I was kind of surprised that he was so mad. But you know, I was like, man, like
I
they
think
just
he was
got
mad
you.
at Steen for not passing it off.
For not passing
you know how,
it
like
off.
the guards
But
got
I mean, I've
punch
never
it
seen a
off,
guy
and then
get so
you don't
mad
rib
at
shot.
I've never seen a guy get so mad at a guard for not passing one off, which tells
Dude,
you the
he had a
reason I
tough
brought it
game.
up. The reason I brought it up, Bo, is because it seems like it's indicative of like where that unit's head's at right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they have very high expectations for themselves. You know that Stout is, you know, coaching as he always does. Like every single detail, he's on every single thing. He's probably on their ass about everything they're doing. But I think, I mean, I'd be mad too if I got the shit picked out of me like that, and then Jalen had to scramble around him. So it was like pretty evident. Like Jalen almost got caught up in his feet, but you know, he lost his helmet. he went in without his helmet on a play earlier, and I was watching that. I was like, buddy, I feel like I've had that dream before so many times. You know, like, and then you see him sprinting back to the sideline to grab it off the little heater on the back of the bench, and I'm just like, don't call a timeout. Don't call a timeout. I thought that was funny.
Well, honestly, again, I want to give the Eagles credit because, listen, the Eagles don't have to win pretty, right? And do I think they're like the best team in the NFC? No, I don't. I think the Rams are better. I think the Niners scare me shitless, right? Like if you're the
who's a good comparison though, Chris?
A good comparison is who?
Seattle
in
the NFC.
Yeah. Now, I think a lot of people would say, hey, I hope you're not comparing the quarterbacks because Jalen's resume is a lot longer and a lot more,
No, I'm saying
you
like
think about
more
the QB.
so. Yeah, a
Just
good
the way they're
defense
set
that
up.
has a really good front seven, an offense that has a lot of potential, but it's inconsistent at times. A star wide receiver, shit like struggling in the O-line a little bit, stuff like that.
You're right. You're dead on right. No, I just want to point out, like, as you get into the playoffs, the reason I've been so nitpicky with this group all year long is, listen, like, if you were a team that you're in the playoffs every couple of years, you haven't won a Super Bowl recently, you're the defending champ, so like you're going to be held to a higher standard. Like that's the way things go. And like when it's easy to walk out of a game and say, hey, they won the game, and we've been doing this all year. But you play with fire. And honestly, as much as I want to give them credit for winning the game, because they did, and it's such a stupid conversation, it's so reductive to say which team won it. Did a team win it or did the Bills lose it? Did the Eagles win it or did the Bills lose it? Like this ain't, like it's a stupid, reductive kind of conversation, but it's a little bit of both. And in a situation like that, like I can laud the Eagles on, like doing what had to be done in the moment, right? Which is first half, scoring enough, getting out to a lead, and knowing that your defense, especially against the personnel that the Bills have outside, like you're going to be able to get pressure on Josh and make it really hard for him to move the ball. But like all that second half conservatism really almost cost him. You're talking about hitting an extra point, or if a quarterback that admittedly hits that throw 95 out of 100 times, like hits that throw, you're going home with a loss. And then you're looking at the second half through a totally different lens. So I'm trying to be as fair and balanced in my no Fox News in my analysis as possible. But like I got to be honest, like that almost came back to bite you because the Bills were very close. They were at the inch line, on the scramble. They, Josh tricks them out of fucking field goal range. I mean, they're probably going to go on fourth down if he just hits the check down on that terrible sack, right? Like the Bills kind of let them off the hook. But I got to admit that, Eagles defense can win you some of these games where, you don't play great offensively. And, I can sit here all I want and nitpick and be like, hey, well, the offense is they are literally a bipolar offense. It's just half to half, dude. Like that's the way they've been all year long. But at this point, looking at the field, I can't say what they can and can't do with the defense they have. It's a top 3 defense. And it's all matchup dependent. This thing is going to be all matchup dependent. Okay, so I thought Jalen Carter, I mean, what a big difference the guy makes. There was a point this year where because his production wasn't there, a lot of people said, well, what the fuck is he doing? Well, he's the guy that you circle when you walk into the meeting room. Make no mistake about it. When you get ready to play the Eagles, you circle Jalen Carter. And with good reason. Not just the block field goal, obviously, but when he sacked Josh Allen, I had it timed. I think the time to sack was like 1.9 seconds. It was crazy. That guy's head has
and
to
it was
weigh
off a power
45
move,
pounds.
too.
His head has to weigh 45 pounds. When he lowers his head and gets it into somebody's face mask, bro, the way that their body mechanics react, it's crazy because Torrance, I think was the guy that he beat, is not like a slouch. Like, he's a pretty solid individual. Another thing that's crazy about Jalen Carter, and I'm not saying this to, like, I know the Spencer Brown thing, like maybe there was more to it. I don't think he poked him on purpose. Jalen Carter does sorry, guys. Jalen Carter does everything he does with imperfect technique. Mm-hmm. he doesn't really use his hands. He uses his levers, bro. You know what I'm saying by that, Nate? I'm like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
like, you know, he's not gripping people. There's not like an accuracy to where he puts his hands because he's so fucking strong. The guy's like a grizzly bear. He can kind of just work the levers. And by levers, I mean the arms, dude. And he's one of one, dude. He really is a unique player. And the way a Jomo and Jordan Davis play, that's as good an interior three as there is in the NFL. And teams are what you got?
As big as the sicko I think Jalen Carter might be, like just like if you got him in the wrong mindset going against him, bro, it would be really, really hard to mentally think, hey, I'm gonna poke this guy in the eye with my thumb.
Yeah.
Like it's really as much as like I want to be, oh, he's a dirty player. It's just like people don't realize like how hard that would be to aim that up and to be like, I'm trying to do this and I'm gonna successfly like jam
Also-
my thumb. And why your thumb? Like why would I try
Also,
to use
crucial
my
time
thumb?
in a game. Let me get like a fucking 15-yarder.
Get it.
You know, I don't think, and he didn't. But like, you know, I just want to say that, and you know, Epps made a big play down on the goal line. Zach Bond made a huge play down on the goal line. Like this was a true team effort. Like, you know, obviously, DeJean was down there. He was eating glass yesterday. I mean, it's just, you know, so great job by the Eagles. And also, like, they took some shots at Quinyon Mitchell, and like they took some shots down the field at these guys because they really didn't have a choice. Like, and this is where I would get talking about the Bills, man. I think honestly, and I'm not, that was a terrible game for Josh, the quarterback, right? But for the Bills, like if you're a Bills fan, you walk out of that game and you say, okay, that game doesn't kill us. Like both of these teams were kind of hoping to get out of there. There's reasons you want to win the game, right? Like potentially the Eagles now could be playing for a 2 seed, which is a big deal, right? Like you talk about like not getting the Rams in the first round. Like there's a real reason you play for the 2 seed. But I do think both those teams were kind of like, let's get out of here. And I also think in retrospect, last night I did the thing where I said, and I still feel this way if this was like a playoff game. If I was the Bills, I would have gone for 2 to make it 13-8 because I'm talking about the first touchdown. Because at that point in the game, Eagles are one shot to A.J. Brown away from making it 16 points, right? Like that's where I would have gone for 2. Badgley misses the field goal. Now you got a decision to make at the end of the game. And I think the rule of thumb is at home when you have the momentum, and they certainly did, and the opposing quarterback hasn't completed a pass in the second half. I think in that scenario, you kick the ball. But I also understand, in retrospect, after the game, that Josh Allen went into the X-ray room, which means that his ankle was probably banged up. Not an excuse, just reality. He's still got to hit that fucking throw. Come on, I can make that throw on one leg. All right, so, you know, like I also think what factored into my reasoning when I said, hey, I'd have rather just kicked it, he was not, they were not, and he was not precise in the red zone. The throw to Shakir on the crosser earlier in the game is a touchdown if he's got it on his front hip. You know, like there were little things like that. There was, hey, as spectacular as that fucking circus scramble is where he's pump faking 3 guys out of their shoes and he's trying to get in the end zone, Josh, where he's at his best and he's seeing the field and he's not pressing, because I think that's what he was doing yesterday, he's flipping the ball to fucking Brandon Cooks. He's at the pylon standing there like this, 7 feet away, and there's nobody out-leveraged. He's not out-leveraged. He's just standing there at the pylon. Go back and look at the play. You know, like Josh was not his best yesterday. And you know, you could see it on the third down where he takes that inexplicable sack to Jalix Hunt. Just hit the fucking check down, buddy. The problem is he gets in these games and it's like he says, I got it. And I totally get it. They're not working with a lot outside. And that's not an excuse. But you got to manage the fucking game, buddy. It's a 13-0 game. It's not a fucking 45-44 game. He has to know the difference between a game where he has to put his cape on every play and a game where he has to just hit the check down in the big situations, right? And the fumble, you can't have that. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing, dog? You know, so I just, in all these situations, you look back at them and you're like, there were easy outs. So I think Bills fans know quarterback played as bad as he could have. I would put it up there with the Miami game this year. I don't think it's a Houston kind of thing because I'll give him the pass for being sacked 8 times against Houston. They just match up really well. Buffalo's real problem coming out of this game is knowing how bad they are without Dalton Kincaid. And you can say, hey, that's tough shit. You don't believe me? Bills with Kincaid, 9-2, 30 points a game, 6.1 yards per play. Bills without Kincaid, 2-3, 23 points a game, 5.4 yards per play. That's crazy. He's their number one pass catcher. So in a game like that, it hurts you in two ways because you're trying to dominate in the run game, but people are triggering downhill. Those safeties aren't afraid of fucking Dalton Knox.
Dalton Kincaid. It's a bunch of Dawsons and Daltons, dude. They got the whitest tight ends on the planet. So anyways.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Was that a fumble or did he grip it?
I'm not. Listen, I'm glad because – like the Birds get the call, great.
Yeah.
But I think it's the right call.
That was a
I think it's the
fumble.
right call. Last night,
I think it was a fumble.
I was a little confused about why the guys on the broadcast were like kind of unsure about it because I thought it was like maybe a tuck rule kind of thing.
But when you slow it down,
just don't put yourself in that position.
Yeah.
That's the point, like to me. And you know how I feel about
throw that ball away.
You know how I feel about Josh, and you know how I feel about. And boy, am I glad that he's going to play his worst game against my favorite team.
Yep.
Right, but it doesn't absolve him for not knowing the situation. You got to know the fucking situation, brother. You got to know the situation. It is a 13-0 ball game. If you just do the things to stay on schedule, and I understand they got you strapped outside. The fucking front office has brought in Keon Coleman and Palmer, who hasn't separated really all year. He's supposed to be the big, like, separation guy. Mm-hmm. And Shavers, who's, he made a circus catch last night.
Whoa, what about Brandon Cooks?
Brandon Cooks with 4 catches but prior to that, he's been dropping balls, dude. They're just not, and that's the reason both of these teams, I'm not shocked if they go home the first week in the playoffs. And that's not to take a shot at either of them. They're just so inconsistent in their own ways.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And when you were making the comparison to Seattle earlier, in a weird way, Buffalo's kind of the same way in their variability, but a different root problem, right? Like these two teams are super fucking variable, and that's scary going to the playoffs. And so coming out of this game, I think both fan bases, I know Eagles won the game, but I don't think anybody feels great after watching that football game.
Feel good about the first half, though. I mean, there were some – not to talk out of both sides of my mouth here. Like, obviously, the offense in the second half, like, it didn't do anything. You know what I mean? Like, we all saw that. But to your point, Chris, you said this earlier, like, they kind of didn't really need to. Like, I get the sense that maybe the Eagles, offensive coaching staff understood that it was going to be one of these games like this. Like, it was shitting rain. I don't think the broadcast really – you couldn't really get a good tell of it until the broadcast kind of pulled away to that shot where you're, like, looking up at the lights,
Tom was
like,
so happy not to be out there.
I know. He was going on about his gloves for, like, 15 minutes. We're like, buddy, like, can you talk about the game? But anyway, I'm just saying, like, I think the Eagles did a really good job offensively in the first half. That's encouraging. And then they did enough in the second half, I guess, where they didn't turn the ball over. They didn't make the same kind of mistakes that Josh Allen and the Bills did to come away with a win. I guess that's, kind of looking at it through silver linings for Eagles fans. But I think fundamentally there is something so great about, this is the last time they're going to be at that stadium. It's two good organizations. And it comes down to one play, and it's just, December football, and it's raining, and it's literally like a 2-point play for the game. Like, I just think there's something so cool about that, man. And as a fan and as a former player, like, you got to appreciate that. It's kind of fun when it turns out like that.
It was an incredible game. It was the Hemingway game. We had all types of drunk shit happen in this game, for real. It was, and of course, Ernest Hemingway was a raging alcoholic, and that's why we, but he was a great.
No, but he made it cool.
He did make it cool. It's cool to be an alcoholic and write books. It's not cool to be an alcoholic and, like, coach JV football.
Could do anything else.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot cooler. Like, man, that guy just fucking, he's pissed drunk. He's just pissing himself.
He's just a tortured artist.
Turning out bangers. He's got his quill. Yeah. He's passed out on his quill.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a fucking, that's cool. So, anyways, I guess the point is, if I'm looking at the Eagles through rose-colored glasses, they got one of the best defenses in the league. Vic Fangio is electric, dude. He is awesome. And the guys that they brought in from a personnel standpoint, you want to talk about hitting a home run. They hit a home run on both the cover guys in the draft. They hit a home run on all these Georgia guys. Even when we thought Jordan Davis was a double, he's closer to a home run. Dude, it's just, they're a really well coached defense. They're a top 3 defense. That's what makes you. And then you think, you keep waiting for big game Jalen to show up, and he did in the second quarter. I want to say this about Jalen Hurts: it wasn't pretty in the second quarter. Some of those balls were ducks, but they were right where they needed to be. That ball that he fit between fucking between Benford and somebody else to AJ Brown, where he broke the pocket, rolled right. Some of those play extensions in the second quarter, I thought his second quarter of play was very good. And that's what he had to do, right? Like, you had to do that. If you're the Bills, the rose-colored glasses say, hey, we got Josh Allen. I know there's a lot of people that, he misses a throw at the end of the game. You think it was a Super Bowl. Let's get on with the playoffs and figure out who's who. I think if the Bills, like, the thing you can hang your hat on is McDermott's done a really good job in the second half of ball games making adjustments. I thought, yesterday's game was no different. So you feel like you're doing a good job adjusting. There's some young players learning on the fly. I don't think they can expect to have their interior defensive line play that well against other groups, which is an indictment on how bad the Eagles have become up front. And so, best case scenario for the Bills, you get Kincaid back and you look a lot different. But both of these teams need things to go right? Like, and I'm a little bit nervous about them because these are 2 of my favorite teams in the league, right? And I'm just telling you, I don't feel great about either one making a run because of the volatility of these groups, and Josh has got to realize, like, dude, know the fucking situation, dude. Read the room. That's my thing, dude. Just read the room, brother. So, anyways, I'm trying to find my laptop charger because my shit.
Chris, you mentioned how much better the Bills' defense has been in the second half, and that's true across the entire season. They're 3rd in success rate allowed the entire season in the second half. Only the Browns and the Broncos are above them. Those 3 units allow a success rate of less than 30% in the second half. Like, you guys as 3 defensive players, how do you explain that?
Well, I think there's a lot of coaches that can't adjust. They don't know what's happening in real time. They draw up great game plans, but they don't adjust. They don't know, hey, what are we seeing outside? Like, what are the matchups that are being exploited? Hey, what are the run fronts that we need to get in, that are a little bit more conducive to us slowing these guys down? I thought in the second half they packed the box and they played man coverage. Mm-hmm. And they said, hey, due to the weather, due to, hey, maybe we want to make the quarterback beat us. Right, like last year in the Super Bowl, Spags was like, we're going to make Jalen Hurts beat us, and he beat him. Mm-hmm. But he also had the best offensive line in the fucking league.
Right.
And right now you're staring at an offensive line that, they can't block anybody up front in the middle, and they don't have their best player in Lane Johnson on the right side. It's just, they're kind of a shell of themselves. So, and you think about what McDermott's done, as bad as this defense is, and from a personnel standpoint, as incomplete as the group is, like, that Kansas City game plan was really good.
Yeah.
Like, in some big spots, he's got something up his sleeve. So, these are the reasons, if you're the Bills, you're excited about the playoffs and maybe say, hey, we can make a run. If you're the Eagles, it's, hey, our defense is fucking insane, and we have a big game quarterback and 2 number 1 wide receivers outside and Saquon Barkley. That's got to count for something. They just got to figure out how to fucking use these guys.
Right.
Because right now, a bunch of stop routes, it's fucking lame. And I will say this, Benford and A.J. Brown, if that game was played indoors, would have been a fucking fantastic matchup.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it have been?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I was just about to ask you about that. Are we at the point now, like, that it has to be, like, a hurricane for them, like, to stop a game or postpone a game? Like, did it look like at any point it was raining too hard? Like,
no, we're not there. I don't think we're there. But there was a point where
I was like, if that was snow, like, I'd feel like there would be no visibility.
Oh, it'd be
like,
awesome, though.
That'd be so sick. Yeah.
Awesome for who? I just feel like it was at times when they zoomed out, you're like, oh, wait, it's really
There was a snow game
raining.
like that in Philly. It was Detroit. Like Selleck, Kelsey, Connor, those dudes talk about it all the time. And they show me some photos. It looked awesome.
But bro,
I think they only stopped the games with lightning. Yeah, Shady went off
lightning.
that game.
Yeah, lightning. But seeing those guys, like,
hard to operate.
Like, it looked like a fucking, what is it called? Slip and slide.
Yeah,
like,
it was crazy.
Like seeing the bead
I think
in the waves of freaking water from the turf. I'm just like, when does it get too crazy?
And that rain looked thick.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like that thick lake rain, dude.
They got that thick rain, that comes up from sideways.
Listen, for both these teams, man, it's about the playoffs. So this is what I was riding in today with Nolan. I was like, bro, I can't wait till the fucking playoffs. I'm so tired of on Mondays being like, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? We get in the whole ESPN fucking like, reductive A or B answer question. And like eventually we just want to see the best teams play each other. And, and we can all this, hey, this, that, the Eagles might turn it on. They might figure some shit out. I don't know. We'll see.
The Eagles.
That's the beauty of the playoffs, man.
You talked about the Eagles' defense. 4 of the last games, they've played 70 or more snaps, notably that Bears game. They played 87. Is there anything to talk about Week 18, like play a half for these fellas and get them out? Or, I know you're playing for the
I think you got to jump
but...
out in front, right? Because the most important thing is who you're matched up against. And so I think you need to jump out in front. I also think, like, truth be told, I think they think the backup quarterback can pick up where the starting quarterback leaves off. And so if Tanner McKee comes in the game, they feel like they can still route the Commanders, right? Mm-hmm. So I think you want to give Jalen some rest if you can. So if that's a half, great, because I'm in burn the ships mode. Both these teams, and when it comes to the quarterback run in the playoffs, that's got to be Jalen's got to carry the ball 5-10 times a game, and the same thing with Josh, and that's the concern.
If it was me and Chris, we'd be playing every snap in this game.
Oh,
Chris
for sure, dude. For sure, dude.
Yeah.
Don't get me started, but and I love football. Dude. I'm like the BYU coach, I love football, after the
I'm going up to that game, Chris. I'm excited because I was thinking about that with New Year's Eve coming up and our little adventure that we had over at Tavern on Broad, and what was that, like 2017 New Year's Eve? And
all those kids are probably 21 by now at that bar.
Some of them might not be.
This fucking guy took me to the most ridiculous bar, dude. Ridiculous.
And that game was like 10 degrees. That was
I was so
game.
Mad. You got to put Vaseline on, dude. That's a Vaseline game, is it not?
Oh yeah. You gotta really protect your skin barrier against the elements for that game, Chris.
That's exactly right. Also, it makes you look shiny and more jacked.
It makes you look jacked.
But throwing on Vaseline for this Week 18 game anyway.
I'll be up there. We'll see what happens, Cowboy. You never know.
All right.
I'm always down to get vast.
Eagles got to stop with the green out. That's the last thing I'll say. You just heard what he said about the 70 plays a game for the defense. The Eagles' offense can be, and I've said this before, and people are like, I feel like when I say certain things, like people are like, what the fuck are you talking about?
3 and out.
The Eagles' offense doesn't have to be good. It just has to be consistently, predictably not great. Okay? I know I feel like Trent Dilfer on the set of like NFL Live saying, a lot of teams in the NFL win games by not, what did he say? I can't even think about it, but they fried him for years. What I'm trying to say is, I don't give a fuck if you score 17 points a game. Just don't be 3 and out the whole game. Because we, as defensive players, can't take that shit. The sitting down, getting one sip of water and grabbing your helmet,
sudden change.
Well, the good thing is they're not sudden changing, but you know what I'm talking. Yeah,
sometimes a 3 and out feels like a sudden change.
It does. 3 and out feels like, bro, what you just. So I don't know what they have to do to figure that out, but like eventually, you're looking at everybody on the offense. It isn't just the fucking. You can't put everything on Kevin Patullo again. That was a laughably bad game plan in the second half. It makes you think they're not confident in a few things. Mm-hmm. So, anyways.
Trent Dilfer said you cannot lose games in the NFL and still win them.
Holy shit. Like the meme where with the brain exploding?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So, if you just kill 3 cows to feed your guys for Christmas, would you want it back after that game? Like, yo, bro, I got sacked and pinballed around.
Oh, who did that?
Josh Allen got his O lineman quarter cows for for Christmas, which I think is probably one of the most awesome.
That's a good gift.
If you're a meat,
we got to talk about these gifts.
Unless you're a vegan, that's
a great gift.
This is an absolute great. A quarter of a cow.
That's pretty good.
To the point that this couple, she's telling about it because her husband's on the O line, and she's saying they had to buy a whole extra freezer,
like a meat locker,
a freezer, for all the meat.
Yeah, dude.
Because how much a quarter cow is.
No, I know.
For a guy who loves steaks, that's amazing.
Hell no.
If you just got your O-line, a bunch of gifts, even like Aaron Rodgers or whatever, like guys who lost, if you're a quarterback, if you get your your O-line, these extravagant
if I were Josh, the only person I could be mad at is myself in that game. I'm just going to keep it a bean, man, because I love the guy, but I'm going to be mad at Josh. Mm-hmm. I'm Josh. I'm looking in the mirror. I'm fucking pissed at Josh. And he is. I'm also pissed at Brandon Beane. At some point, dude, they got to be able to they've got to be able to get the dude some toys, because you play an Eagles defense, man. Those guys are strapping outside. It's like playing the Texans. The reason they look that way against the Texans, that's a nightmare matchup, bro. That's a nightmare matchup for just about anybody in the AFC. It's just like, but especially a team like the Bills. All right, so we've spent a lot of time on Eagles and Bills. This is a fucking 25-point total game. Let's get to the game that there were like 100 points in. There was 1,000 yards of offense. Oh man. Somebody said just realized this is an Eagles Glaze podcast. I'm not even going to name you.
This is a Jags Glaze podcast, actually.
We just spent 20 minutes giving you measured Eagles takes and actually like criticizing the team, and you called it a glaze. Like I'm like really interested in what this new phenomenon is that fans have, where they accuse all content creators of glazing. It's like some sort of projection on like what they hate. They just can't take the team even being talked about or something like that. So anyways, we'll talk about Niners and Bears. That game was incredible. And just trust me when I say, and I know I don't talk about gambling every week here because I don't want to annoy people that don't gamble. I fucking love the 49ers for what they did for my family last night. This was a call the police situation, and I called Kyle Shanahan, and Kyle Shanahan made it all okay, dude. That was incredible, man. Honestly, guys, the roller coaster. I was sitting there last night with basically like maybe the flu. I don't know. I got the shakes. I'm like shaking, and Nolan's like, do you get these shakes a lot? I'm like,
I've never seen somebody shake like that. I was looking to read it. I was like, should we call an ambulance?
Bro, I'm wrapped up in a blanket, and I'm watching that last drive. It's the drive of the year for me, and I have to depend on Upton Stout's backup and 4 guys that haven't sniffed the quarterback all week. They score. They leave way too much time. I was screaming at the TV for Juwan Jennings to get down. Because it's such a certainty that they're going to score a touchdown. Mm-hmm. Like that's how good they were offensively. That's how good both those groups were offensively last night. That for the Niners, it's kind of like going forward. It's not about if you score, it's when you score. It is, they have a privilege schematically, and from a standpoint of having Christian McCaffrey, and a well-established program where, like, and Purdy, dude, the way Purdy played last night was after that first pick, especially, to just be like, shake that off. And he was playing like MVP level football.
Yep.
Late in that game, dude. The way he was running around.
There's something about
Dude, he looked so good.
I don't know why, but Purdy doing the fucking Dougie after a touchdown, I don't know why it pisses me off, but it does. But I like Purdy. But like, was he always like a celebration guy when he scored touchdowns? Like
maybe not as much as the Dougie, but he celebrated. He was layering some throws in there though, like into the second level, into the zone. He was dropping some balls right in the bucket.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah, no, it was great. He was.
That first one was shaky, but like.
That was real shaky,
to turn that around, to start the game like that. That's like, that has to be a quarterback's like worst. Obviously the worst possible way you can start a game, right? Just throwing a pick.
Yes, but you could kind of tell both these coaches knew how much we're gonna score. Like the Bears threw the ball 42 times, all right, and they got out to a 7-0 lead. They didn't really even try to establish the run, which I think was maybe a little bit of a mistake early. but you can't really nitpick. They ended up scoring fucking 38 points or something like that. What a game. And for the Niners, it really comes down to 2 red zone stops. You know, like, and honestly, when you think about that, if you're a team, if you think you can score 35 points a game, which I think they can, like, you know, maybe not this Sunday, they're going to play Seattle, but I still think they're going to score. Like, when you think about the viability of this team in the playoffs, I really don't know. I'm kind of stumped. Most years I'd say, can you win a Super Bowl with a defense like this?
Yeah, it's the opposite of all the teams we were just talking about. You know what I mean? Like, we were just talking about the Eagles and how their defense can carry them. We've talked a lot about the AFC, you know, the Texans and yada, yada, yada. But it's like, for them, they've had so many defensive injuries. It feels like their best defense is scoring 42 points. You know, it's kind of interesting. Makes for some good, potentially great matchups.
Well, has there ever been a team that won a Super Bowl with a piss poor defense? I don't mean to say piss poor, but like they're not talented.
I mean, well, some would say Super Bowl 52 with us, dude. We
played Tom Brady. We also were a top 3 defense in the NFL. You know, it's like from a scoring standpoint, like we got carved up by the GOAT, dude. But
I don't remember the exact years. I feel like if you guys remember too, I feel like there were years with the Chiefs during their run where the offense was elite and the defense maybe wasn't piss poor, but the whole name of the game for them was let's just make stops on some key third downs, and they were able to do that.
This defense is like, and I respect the hell out of Robert Saleh, and I think he, in a weird way, is maximizing what he has.
Mm-hmm.
But you're lining up with the game on the line. You've got like Gross Matos, you know,
Chase Lucas,
Huff. I'm talking to the guys up front. Like
they
just don't have the horses, man. So anyways, I you know, and they have won some games on defense this year, but a lot of them were early in the year, like the LA win where you get to force a fumble. That's a red zone stop, right? You know, the safety that they had at the end of the Arizona game, I think they ended up with a big play at the end of the game on defense. Huff had a big strip sack to win one of those games. Maybe like
did you mention the Rams game early in the season?
Yeah,
with
the
that's
punt.
Your stop. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like, to me, you know, if I'm Robert Saleh, I can sell these guys on, hey, man, we've done this before. And if our offense is playing this way, all we got to do is make 1-2 stops in the second half of a football game. You know, and I think it should kind of inform Kyle Shanahan on how to call offense.
Yep.
You know, and that includes, like, being really aggressive on fourth down, I think, and just scoring touchdowns. Because field goals aren't going to do them any good. They can't trade field goals for touchdowns. I thought the end of that game was just, when you look back at it, did you see what they ran on that final play?
Dude, it was there.
They dropped 9.
It was there, though.
Oh, I know it was there.
You're talking about the Bears? The Bears final
but I'm
play?
talking about the Niners. The Niners dropped 9 people. They rushed 2 dudes, and they had like 3 dudes sitting there on the E in 49ers in the end zone. And, you know, I thought Gross Matos actually he was the most important player on the whole deal, because Huff kind of makes Caleb bail, but Gross Matos has got to cut him off at the pass, and he's got to do it without overrunning him so hard that Caleb just kind of pirouettes inside. So if you watch him, like end zone, he's running like 45%, 65%. Then he throttles it down, and then he speeds up. Like, that was a very, very underrated job by him of just bottling him up. And I know it's there. I mean, the ball skips like 6 inches short. DJ Moore is standing on the NFC logo. Did you see this? It's the funniest fucking thing in the world. He's like 50 yards away because he's across the field and
doing jumping jacks.
He's just like, Caleb, I know you can make this throw, which is a tremendous compliment to the quarterback, right? Uh-huh. Like, he really does scare you in these situations because he can make every throw, dude. Like, he can make every throw.
Do you think part of the logic with that, with dropping 9, is like, we can't sack this guy? Like, we just want as many bodies in the end zone as possible.
Absolutely.
I think it's just giving him a completely different look. Yeah, and that too. You know what I mean? They didn't really rush well all night, but just like give him something totally unexpected. But then DeAndre Swift was there, Chris, though, and he got in the throwing lane. I can't remember who exactly it was. It was the right end or whatever. And then Caleb kind of tucked it and then ran around him. But I think they were trying to scheme up. I think Ben Johnson was trying to scheme up, you know, that flare from Swift, a quick pass. He jumped up, Caleb tucked it. And then his man defender was able to sift through all the trash and end up covering. I mean, dude,
Well, I also think I also think like you just know, if you know anything about Caleb and any other quarterback, you're like, why the fuck would you bail out the back of the pocket? Like, you don't have the arm strength to make that throw running backwards. He's gonna, like, you think about all the big situations he's gonna play in over the next 10 to 15 years of his career, and yes, he's gonna play that long. He's just got, like, there's nobody that has you more puckered up because he can make the throw from anywhere on the field. And, you know, there might be better quarterbacks, but as far as, like, his ability to make the throw from anywhere behind the line of scrimmage, the guy's torso torque is crazy. Like, the way he can roll left, it's like he's throwing a ninja star, dude. It's crazy. He just, seriously, it's nuts, dude. He's got such an arrogant arm. It's and, you know, you look at that fourth down play at the end of the Bears game, at the end of the Packers game, you know, a little flick of the wrist. That's the reason, to answer the question, that you don't waste the rushers in the A and B gaps, because you know where he's going. He's going to bail backwards. And you can make the play if he starts to scramble up the middle. I thought it was so interesting because Ben Johnson, I thought this was really good after the game, took accountability and said, hey, listen, that's on me. I didn't get us aligned right. Like, I kind of like botched this whole thing because he only got part of the call and had to piecemeal it together. I had him the call late. And Shanahan didn't panic. They didn't call a timeout. There's some credence to maybe spiking the ball there. But I think the biggest mistake they made was this. Maybe it was second down when they did the hook and ladder. And they end up getting tackled in bounds. They're on like the 11 or 12-yard line. At that point, you got no timeouts left, right? To me, a 5-yard completion out of bounds buys you 2 plays. And the risk of doing that hook and ladder deal is like Lenore's all over it. There's 3 guys there. They get you down in bounds. Now you got to spike the ball, and you get 1 play, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, for me, I probably would have hit a quick out if it was available, got to the 5-6 yard line, and bet on myself to with 2 shots at the end zone, because I think you would have had enough time there. I thought that was a little bit of a misstep. And I think Ben Johnson's done, obviously, an amazing job there this year. And they're scary. In a year, they're going to be fucking terrifying. But Shanahan's coach of the year. And you give it to Vrabel. No questions asked. I love Mike Vrabel. But, like, what he's done with if the Niners don't have injuries, they're the Super Bowl favorite.
Yeah. They could be the number 1 seed.
Bro, they ran the ball up their ass last night. They ran the ball up their ass last night without Kittle or Trent. They just continue. They got a guy named Tongas, who my son thinks his name is Thongs. I walked in after dinner last night, and Waylon was like, hey, man, Kittle's not playing. I was like, oh, yeah? He's like, yeah, but I put in this guy Thongs. And my wife and I were laughing.
Look at that. Second touchdown.
He goes, what? His name's not Thongs? I go, no, you're right, but it's Thongus.
Thongus.
I didn't want to. But him, Farrell blocked his ass off in the run game. I just think considering what they've done with the injuries they've lost, you got 2 Hall of Fame level talents sitting up in the fucking booth, you know, with Fred Warner and Nick Bosa. You're missing those guys. You had Mac Jones playing quarterback for a number of weeks.
Watching the show last night, I guess I didn't realize Juszczyk went to Harvard.
Yeah.
Nerd ass backfield over there.
No, I know.
nerd ass
also,
backfield.
I was saying
Harvard
this last
Stanford?
night with Trent out. They're the whitest offense in, like, the history of the NFL, dude.
They really are.
Think about that.
That backfield, now think about Purdy, Juszczyk, and then McCaffrey.
And they got Pearsall outside. As bad as he, you know, chapstick.
Waiting for my chapstick.
Yeah, plastic. Oh, no, but he's still a white boy. And
exciting whites.
That they are the real exciting whites, team. But no, I think Shanahan, bro. I think Shanahan really does. I don't. Awards are cool and everything, but, like, honestly, he
What about Liam Cohen? Come on, man.
Dude, Liam's done a great job. There's a lot of great candidates this year. But I think Shanahan, considering everybody they've lost and the fact they might secure the number 1 seed, like, dude, the guy's been nails. I just think there's no offensive play designer that when you watch them, and we were talking about this in the passing game, everything they do, it's like, I know why you did that. Everything makes sense. Everything's intentional. It's the opposite of watching the Eagles, right?
Yep.
I said this like a month ago. I was like, it's like a different sport. When you watch San Francisco or some of these well-coached groups, and so the delta between a good offensive coordinator and a bad offensive coordinator in the NFL is like, whoa, man.
And then I just think about this. What the hell is up with Ayuk? Like, Ayuk could be helping his team right now, right? Like, essentially, if he was on the same page, he would be back and playing now,
That's
right?
some crazy. That's some crazy shit, is it not?
And it's just
and so
like,
he's another. That's another thing.
That's a whole another thing because he would be helping them, and it's like, bro, like you're going to the maybe you thought the team was going to be dog shit, and you're just like, I want out of here. But like when you really think about it, you could be in this rotation like very well helping this team.
Somebody's going crazy in the fucking chat. We'll shoot him up. Deshaun says Shanahan wishes the league wasn't integrated. Well, it would make a lot better. It'd make it a lot easier to call offense. All go specials, dude. Seriously, it'd be so easy.
You bring up,
but I got a lot of respect for the guy, dude. I really do. Like he is just a ball coach, man. I know I used to give him a lot of shit because he called a pass play in the Super Bowl, and I can thank him for one of my rings. You're right. They got a little aggressive Falcons game. But I got to tell you, man, he's as good as it gets. I got a lot of respect for the dude. I really do. He's a hell of a coach.
He's all time.
Yeah, he really is. I put him in that all-time category. I know he hasn't won a damn Super Bowl, but like, if you gave this guy, now Brock Purdy's a really good quarterback. They just haven't been able to cash in. But what he's done with the guys he's had at quarterback, you know, Jimmy G to the Super Bowl, the whole thing, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
He has, what, 3 Super Bowl appearances between head coaching and OC?
I think so.
And
yeah.
Incredible.
And his bald counterpart is doing amazing too.
Salah's the man.
Like even though their defense,
counterpart.
it's not as it was. You look down and be like, damn, they gave up 38 points.
Yeah.
But just with all the injuries they're going through,
Yep.
it gets to a point in the league. Hey, no matter what, you just have to find a way to win.
Yep.
And it's just the guys that you watch that Salah has out there from a week-to-week basis when it's not Fred Warner and some of these guys, they're all, whether they're making the plays, it's consistent that
in the right places a lot.
They're in the right places and everyone's playing hard.
Yes.
And that's all you can ask from a coach. Like, is putting guys in the right places so they can make plays. And San Francisco, those guys are always
two guys I'd love to play for. And it was funny, Nolan, last night, Nolan goes, you think you could rush for San Francisco? He's looking at the back in rush for San Francisco. I'm like,
come on.
I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know what I'd have for Darnell Wright. I was like, I don't know about Darnell Wright. But I want to say this about the Bears. Caleb Williams is that fucking dude. And it's another reason why it's like, it's silly to listen. 2 end-of-game situations, he's missed big opportunities this year. That doesn't change the fact that he's absolutely one of the guys, dude. You know, he missed that crosser. Probably would have been a touchdown, right? Like that's the one that got away this game. The Nixon ball from, you know, two Packers games ago, he was late. You know, he's a little late. Now, it depends on what his progression is there. But, like, you know, otherwise, he's been fucking nails at the end of games, dude. There's probably nobody in today's NFL. I don't want to say these absolute statements, but he's on the short list of guys that I don't want if I'm on defense leading that 2-minute drive because he's impossible to sack. Sacks kill 2-minute drives. You can't sack him. He can throw off platform. You know, you got to be careful blitzing the dude. The arm on this motherfucker, dude, when he threw the ball to Luther Burden, I mean, he's got people at his feet. It's just like he can't even follow through. When I talk about arm strength, I think sometimes people get confused because somebody will be like, oh, that guy has a strong arm. What are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, but he can't get off the spot. You know, certainly he's a jugs machine, you know, but this guy is a guy that his jugs machine, it moves 15 miles an hour. It's on wheels.
His platform doesn't matter.
His platform does not matter. It's the same thing. Luther Burden, St. Louis's own. Shout out to Luther Burden. is a stud. That guy, that 3rd and 10 on that last drive, imagine having him in man coverage. I mean, he just, after the catch, and then Loveland, they're really assembling a scary group. Next year, he's already probably the guy in the NFC North.
Mm-hmm.
Is it who's?
I'm not disputing that.
I mean,
Gibbs.
If you just sign, no, I'm talking
Gibbs?
about quarterback. I'm talking about quarterback. And you know, I love Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love's great. I think Jared Goff's a stud. But you give me, line them up.
Yeah, who you pick?
What about 9? Not 9.
Developing. He's developing.
I'm with you.
Loading.
This guy's fucking. This guy's a stud. I'm just saying, dude. Yeah, I'm just saying. So, anyways,
can we just shout out CMC real quick? His workload over the bulk of his career is incredible, man. I mean, he had 23 carries. Dude, he looks. I mean, he had that 141-yard rush where he was just like weaving in and out like a little jitterbug.
Mm-hmm.
You look great, man. I mean, just is there any player that's more like singularly valuable to their offense, or I guess to their team, in the NFL? I think the case could be made for him for, an MVP season, or at least offensive MVP or something like that. Like,
who'd you say?
He's a stud, man. CMC.
Oh, CMC. Yeah, CMC.
He joined LaDainian as the only players in NFL history with 3 seasons of 2,000+ scrimmage yards and 15+ touchdowns.
He's remarkable because he's had the crazy workload. He's also had the big injuries, but he's just continued to get up off the mat. And you saw him at the end of the game there. His back's locking up. He's trying to, like, activate his core muscles on the sideline. You can see him wincing. Like, he's in burn the ships mode consistently. It's crazy. That's why I call him a coal miner, because they don't care.
399 touches on the season. Leads the league.
It's crazy, man. Dude's down there with a pickaxe, man, all day long.
We also have to shout out Joe Tooney. He's won a division title every year he's been in the league. 9 years.
Man, I love that guy.
That dude's
He's a fucking rabbit. He's a fucking rabbit.
Yeah, Mr. Rubik's Cube. You know, he can do a Rubik's Cube, supposedly like really fast. It's pretty impressive shit, in my opinion. More impressive than the division thing. Do you know anybody that can do a Rubik's Cube?
Few people.
Really?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, one of my uncles, he's like a magician, and he could do all that shit.
You have an uncle that's a magician?
Yeah, he does a lot of shit.
Why do I not know about this?
My uncle John. Shout out to John.
Is that your dad's
Magic.
brother?
My mom's.
What kind of magic tricks does he do?
Bring him in for the playoffs.
He has good ones.
Okay, somebody's at the door downstairs. You hear that?
Yeah.
Fat chance we're letting you the fuck.
Maybe it's Uncle
Does Fax have a Facebook Marketplace deal or what?
Mello with the dot said whatever CMC got done in Germany needs to be brought here ASAP. I'm just telling you, dude, I went to Germany. It didn't work like that for me. It's not that simple. You gotta have, he's like a biomechanical, he's one of the most fun running backs to watch. Like, he really is like a perfect biomechanical athlete. Like his stride, everything, like his cuts, like everything's just so perfect. Dude.
Have you ever heard him talk about how he was trained by his dad by like since, he was 2 or 3 to do everything, like every motion, every movement is to get, the extra 3 yards, 4 yards. He said his dad was cutting off pieces of his jersey and his shoes to get every little piece of speed, because that's what Ed McCaffrey did in the NFL. He said he would wear kicker pads as a wide receiver. And so he said Christian McCaffrey and all his brothers in Little League and youth football, they'd have like the tightest jerseys. Every move, he said he would like have fourth period would be nap time of high school, so he could get a nap in before the high school game and shit like that. Just all optimizing a football player all the way through.
I promise you, it wasn't like that for me. My dad just was like, run him till he cries. It wasn't like that, like scientific. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was more just straight trying to build character.
Do you think that Christian McCaffrey?
Man, if my dad had me out doing this shit, I would have been so fucking, man. If I'd have gotten my,
Do you think Christian McCaffrey's? Do you think his performance this season is just him trying to prove maybe the fantasy doubters wrong. Maybe some guys drafted him in fantasy and they weren't that happy about
I wasn't that happy. I auto-drafted the guy, and I was like, fuck, he's going to be hurt in like 3 games, dude. It's just he just keeps – of all the people that got hurt on this team,
right.
It's not him.
Right.
So shout out to the Niners, man. Thank you for my kids are appreciative. That was just what the doctor ordered last night, brother.
And shout out BetMGM because they also every Sunday are just what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, well, a lot of the time. This holiday season, Mondays aren't just about wrapping up the weekend slate. They're about unwrapping a pro football same-game parlay boost token with BetMGM. Here's how to get in on the action. Add a same-game parlay wager for tonight's game to your bet slip. Activate your boost token. If your wager hits, you'll enjoy extra winnings in unrestricted bonus dollars. The perfect gift to yourself this season. And if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, don't miss out on the holiday magic. Use bonus code GREENLIGHT, and you'll get up to a $1,500 new player offer on your first wager. BetMGM, make it legendary.
We jumped straight into the reactions today, so we didn't get a chance to do best flight, worst flight. Do you want to do best flight, worst flight?
Oh shit, that's a good call. Let's save it for the end because we didn't. We jumped in too fast. We'll just throw it all at the end.
Seahawks Panthers.
Hell yeah, dude. That was that was an ugly game, dude. Was it not?
It was ugly. I was down in Martinsville, Virginia, watching this game at a bar. And it's on the border of Virginia and North Carolina.
So there's some Panthers fans?
What? How
do they feel? Do they like Bryce?
Bro, it was one of those things, the emotions in that room, because I've never been around, like, majority, like, Panthers fans. And
it's real, bro.
They were excited just talking about, like, the fact that they were losing, they didn't care because the Bucs were losing.
Yeah.
So they're watching it at the same time, and everyone's like, "It's all right, it's all right." They're losing to Miami, so we're okay. But they was talking shit,
bro. It's such a fun team to root for, like, because I was a Panthers fan growing up, man. Yep. Like when they're good, bro, it's a fun team to root for, man. They got some of the best colors in the NFL. Like, it's just a fucking dude. The market's not too big. It's kind of it's probably a chill place to play too.
Who's a famous Obata?
Obata,
number 94. I was seeing
Obati.
I was seeing jerseys from like long time ago, like Stewart jerseys. Like this is like the fans that were in there.
like a Mike Rucker jersey.
Like I was like, I don't know half of these players. Dude. You have to be like a real fan to be having this type of jersey. In there,
dude. I fucking remember, man. You remember Fred Lane? God rest his soul. Fred Lane. There was like golly, Sam Mills. Sam Mills. They had a statue outside the stadium. I remember. Just tell the story again because I was a Panthers fan growing up, but like my dad took me down to Carolina because it was driving distance from Virginia to see he was like interviewing some players, and I didn't always get to go on the trips or whatever. I got to go on this trip, and I met Kevin Green, bro. And Kevin Green, man, they got a lot of dudes that are dearly departed, man. Sam Mills, Kevin Green, Fred Lane, like damn, dude, a lot of my heroes growing up.
And what you call played there,
Pep, obviously, dude. That was why when I got in the NFL, like Pep being so cool to me, and you played with Pep, so you know how cool he is.
Unbelievable.
But one of the nicest dudes. And really showed me love, and I was like, man, I'm like, why are you nice to me? Like, you got no fucking. I'm like, you don't even understand, dude. I grew up. You were like my favorite player, dude.
I used to say that to him all the time. I'm like, bro, you're one of the only people that can say that they're playing in the NFL, and you played in a goddamn Final Four, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Dude's unbelievable. All right, so let's talk about this game. My thought coming out of it is, man, you can really see how far the Panthers have to go from a personnel standpoint offensively. Like you look at Bryce's little hit chart, Ice Young's hit chart. It's a bunch of green dots at the line of scrimmage. Like they couldn't set him back there and try to get people open. Like they weren't being ambitious. It was like honestly playing out perfectly for them. When it's 3-3 in the second half. Like, to be honest, the thing I came away from this game is the Panthers defense is a lot of fun. And if they slide in the playoffs, like the way they disguise some of the things they do, and as much zone as they play, and they will blitz a little bit more. They blitzed the fuck out of Sam yesterday, relatively speaking. I think Evero, man, I know he's already had some head coaching interviews, but you talk about some of the guys that we're talking about Jeff Hafley, and we're talking about Minter, and we're talking about guys like that. Like this dude is doing a lot with a little. And I like the players. Like, I'm a big Derek Brown fan. I think Derek Brown's underrated as fuck. Scorton, I told you about this Scorton guy all the way back in August. He had a great play yesterday, although I thought maybe the ball was coming forward. They just, and the big physical corners that they have, dude, they played their asses off. And my takeaway coming out of this game was Seattle scares me. I know I had them to win the West, and like I've been banging the drum for these guys, but I would not be shocked if they went home early. Because of the quarterback, and I think Sam, again, he's not the guy that people made him out to be in New York with the Jets. He's not that bad. He's a good player. There's only so many damn starting quarterbacks on the face of the planet. He's one of them, but he does make me nervous. He does make me nervous, and the way they called the game at times in this ballgame made me think he makes them nervous. The way they called, like, in some spots the last couple games makes me think he's making them nervous. Like, December is where it's time to beat the allegations, bro, and I'm not sure he's beaten them thus far. It's funny seeing that stat where they're like, hey, the only 5 quarterbacks in history to win 13 games consecutively. Who was it? Favre, Rodgers, Brady, and Manning, and Sam Darnold. Okay, which is another reason. Don't hit me with these fucking stupid stats where you manipulate reality to put your favorite quarterback with whoever. Stop that goofy shit. But I'll tell you what, as good as this defense is, they can kind of hang in there as long as he doesn't do the thing that he did in the second half, which was, I don't know why on 2nd and 10 you're burning that ball towards the corner of the end zone. Like, it's just some of these decisions that he makes, and he gets more balls tipped than almost anybody in the league. We looked it up today. He's 3rd most tipped balls in the league. The way that they have to work against zone coverage sometimes when they're not beating you with these long developing routes off play action. If you play zone against these guys, you can kind of put him in a pretzel where you got to work underneath, and he gets a lot of balls tipped. There are a lot of balls, if you'll notice, that end up in harm's way. Luckily, what they did in this game was, and he did make some big throws down the stretch. I don't want to make this, he won the fucking football game. Okay. And I think he's a good quarterback. Does he make me nervous? Yeah, he makes me a little nervous. Charbonnet was great. And just being able to run the football in this game was kind of like their life preserver. And I will say Cooper Kupp, as up and down as he's been catching the football, he had a drop that almost ended up in a pick yesterday. That's not really what you're used to, like Mr. Reliable. He blocked his ass off. Those guys are blocking their asses off. Barner needs to be one of their big targets down the stretch. No, not literally, but figuratively, he's got to be a big target for them. They have to find him. You think about like a quarterback's best friend in the middle of the field, a guy like Sam. Put it up where this big motherfucker can get it, because he's got to be like 6'6".
It's a big dude.
He's huge. But Charbonnet was great. Kupp, those guys, they did enough to block their eyes. And DeMarcus Lawrence, who going to the Pro Bowl again. Great punch out, man. Like, the timing on that thing, right after you make a terrible mistake, to know it's time to make a play. He's kind of got that clutch gene, to punch that ball out. That was huge. And Carolina makes it hard on you because, again, like, they're playing zone, they're making you dink and dunk, they're disguising things, and they have big physical corners that can come downhill and tackle on the screens and that sort of stuff. The fuck, I don't know what else to call. Let me just pop it out to our best athlete. There was a play early in this game where JSN got bent backwards. Do you remember this play?
Oh, yeah.
It is a miracle that he didn't pop his hip. Literally, like, hip dislocation, dude.
Like Gumby.
That guy's an incredible athlete.
That yoga. He probably does yoga.
He probably does yoga. Yeah, for sure. But Seattle Seattle, they win Sunday, and that's why we talked about the Niners right before, and now we got Seattle. If they win Sunday, that's a really hard place to play. I know everybody knows that, but I spent a long time playing there. That is as big a home field advantage in the playoffs as any place. Beast mode, Beastquake, Richter scale.
Rain.
Yeah.
Possibly rain.
And that's the one thing is, like, you get this Seattle weather outside. Like,
Exactly.
your quarterback is susceptible to making some mistakes. Like, that's the one design flaw that I know, like, you know, you try to be as – you can't be that picky. You found yourself a starting quarterback, you know, and you slid him right in and you won 13 games. But ideally, it'd be a guy that takes care of the football a little bit better. You know, you play in those conditions in January in Seattle, like, that is going to be interesting. Kind of almost works against them a little bit. But, you know, I can't take anything away from them. They beat a good, solid team in Carolina that beat LA at home.
And then just like travel wise, like who would be the furthest? Who's
the furthest NFC team? Like, what if Tampa made it and they had to go to fucking Seattle? And how different do they look from the team that beat them 38-35? Like, what the fuck?
No kidding, Chris. No kidding.
Do you want to talk about that right now? You want to tell us what's wrong with our Bucs?
Yeah, why don't we get into it?
Really
actually, before we do, while we're on the NFC South, real quick, Chris, what do you, you know, we got your Young Prince's 5th-year option coming up here. I think I kind of know what you're going to say. Yeah. You think you re-sign him or take the option? What do you think?
I think take the option because he seems like a really nice guy that wouldn't take it personally.
Okay.
You know, what are the downsides of picking up the option and just?
I agree. Yeah.
You know, like
I was just kind of curious if you feel like he's earned a pretty lengthy extension at this point.
Dude, if he takes the Panthers to the playoffs in a season where they had like a 6-game win total and, you know, people were calling him all types of bad names a year ago and they benched him last year, like he's shown me a lot. The problem is it's a short body of work.
Short.
Yeah. Right. No pun intended. But like
definitely short.
Like, you know, I believe in this guy. I'm just telling you, I'm just being extra safe because I agree, like in some of these big games, the problem is like Carolina's so ahead of schedule that you look at a game like this and you're like, whoa, they only scored 10 points. Bryce couldn't push the ball down the field. Like, he didn't really make any big plays in the passing game. I'm like, all right, well, I also kind of look at what they have. You know, I think they're a receiver away for sure. Not for nothing, this is something they mentioned on the broadcast. They come out in 13 personnel, and one of their tight ends gets hurt right away. You know, so I think they had a totally different game plan. I just don't think this is a complete team yet. And I think you can pick up his option and improve the roster and try to figure it out from there. I'm confident, though, that if you do, you will, in a year from now, be like, yep, this is our guy. I think he's one of the guys. Not one of the guys, but one of the guys.
He's a tier below Caleb Williams, but a tier above fucking, I don't know, J.J. McCarthy. Does that seem
whose tier would
accurate?
I put him in? I think he's got a chance to be – golly, that's an interesting one. You know, Brock Purdy is a pretty good one for me where, like, listen, I think Brock's done a lot in this league, so I'm not trying to compare Bryce to Brock. That he's got to update his resume, but I don't think. Hey, look at Baker Mayfield and Bryce Young play this year. I mean, shit. You know, I'm a big Baker fan, but
what is this shit?
This is all this quarterback ranking stuff. He's a tier above. I think he's a tier above Darnold. Call me crazy. I not a tier above. I think he's like.
He's definitely
higher ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I have a blind spot. Anyways, you know.
Yeah, let's talk Bucks. All right. I mean, this is a tough dude. Chris, you and I were texting about this before the game, and I was like, I wanted to will it into existence, but like, man, they just don't look good, and they just feel so off, man. And part of the biggest frustration for me about where the Bucks are at offensively is you just feel like they have all these weapons back, and you're expecting, you know, fireworks on offense with Mike Evans back from injury. You know, Jalen McMillan's back from injury. Bucky Irving is back. Now they still have some key players that are injured, like, you know, Tristan Wirfs and stuff like that. But you just expect a lot more out of the Bucks offensively than kind of what you're getting. And I'm trying to figure out what exactly it is. Because you look at Baker, he had 346 yards passing, which on paper is great, but then 2 interceptions, and it just feels like they're pressing so hard offensively to make a big play. And I'm talking a lot about Baker specifically here, where he's rolling out of the pocket trying to take a deep shot. I think it was to McMillan. I can't remember. It might have been Igbuka. Ends up throwing a pick. And that happened twice. 2 of his interceptions are like deep balls where you feel like he's really pressing and ends up throwing an interception. And you just kind of can't really have that against a Miami Dolphins team that has a good run game and can control the clock. So that's a big thing. They didn't really get their run game going. They only had 53 yards on the ground, which has been better at previous times during the season, but it's just disappointing. Like they just kind of can't click offensively, and I don't know what exactly it is. I can't quite put my finger on it. I think that's why it feels so frustrating.
Not to glaze Nate, but I think it might have a lot to do with the guy in Jacksonville. That's
a big part of it,
same
man.
Pieces, right?
Yeah, Grizzard has been getting a lot of he's been getting a lot of, like, people have been kind of saying that. And when you think back to last season, there were periods of time where Mike Evans was out, Chris Godwin was out. They didn't have Igbuka. Obviously, he's a rookie this year. Shit like that. And the Bucs offense completely shifted and went to like 12, 13 personnel, really ramped up their run game and really made it work. But yeah, I mean, Liam Cohn's a good coach. And he was great with the Bucs offensively. Let's talk about
Nate. I got to pause Nate real quick. He's in the chat going, not to glaze Nate. Not glaze me, son.
Yeah, Nate's been really rallying his little fucking minions in the
He's
chat.
The minions in the chat. His army. Hey, what about the guard play though? I don't think it's been great. I don't think
it hasn't been great. I didn't honestly, like, Cody Mock's been injured. Bredesen has been banged up too, right? But that's been a problem. I think it's been a huge problem in the run game, Chris. Like, Baker is still pretty decent with his feet yesterday. Just kind of escaping the pocket, and he doesn't look like obviously the same Baker Mayfield we saw earlier in the season with all the MVP chants and all that shit. Like, that's very obvious. I think the guard play is, it's due to injury. I think it's mostly showing up in their run game. Like I said, they didn't rush very well.
Yeah.
But the defense, dude, has been fucking very disappointing. You got vets like Jamel Dean, guy who I played with when I was in Tampa, like biting on short shit and then getting murdered over the top early in the game. Like, you can't have that. I think that was – who was that had that? Theo Weiss Jr. And, I mean, that was a nice play. And then I just think the linebacker play and coverage has been really bad for the Bucs defensively. Dulcich had a really good game. He had 5 receptions, like 60 yards and a touchdown. And to me, that's indicative of, like, yeah, Greg.
Former Broncos legend.
Yeah, that's just bad coverage out of your, most of your linebackers for shit like that. They still
How did
have been
Ewers look?
An edge rusher. That's the thing, dude. Ewers look good, man. I mean, we all kind of know how we feel about Tua, but like when you're in a Miami offense, you just need to protect the ball. Like, their run game is fucking sweet. Like, the way they stretch you laterally makes it so hard to defend, like, because you can hit that shit front side if you get a nice block on the front side, or you can kind of cut it back. So as long as and we all know how good A-Chain is, as long as you're really protecting the ball, not making dumb mistakes, like, you can make a lot of hay in that offense. And that's what I was going to say about Quinn Ewers. Like, he seemed really comfortable. It felt like he wasn't, reaching. He wasn't. I've been doing it in the chat too. You finally saw it. The cough counter. But yeah, no, I mean, to your point, Chris, like, the Dolphins offense looks a lot better with Quinn Ewers as opposed to
because it would be like anybody, bro. I can't believe I had to waste so much time arguing with people about this. And he probably won't even be the guy. It's Malik Willis's job. Unless Malik Willis wants to go back home to Georgia.
But okay, I'm all this to say about the Bucs is disappointed, dude. This game was so frustrating to watch, man. They still are somehow in control of their own destiny in the playoffs, which just feels like some sort of fucking tragedy at this point.
Yeah, dude, it's like honestly, like if they get in the playoffs, everybody's gonna be like, "How the fuck are you here, dude?
How the fuck are you? What are you guys
really
doing
think you
here?"
deserve to
And
be
then they're
here?
gonna look over at the Steelers or whatever, and it'll be like the Spider-Man meme. Like,
Yep.
These like the AFC North and the NFC
maybe we can
South
put
just do
the
not want to be
Bengals-
in the playoffs.
Put the Bengals in the transfer portal to the south.
To the south."
For the
I'm
playoffs.
telling you, this is an at-large bid. I think when people heard me say it a couple weeks ago, they're like, "Nah, that's stupid." But really, be honest. Would you rather have one of two Steelers and Ravens in the playoffs or the Bengals? Like from an entertainment value standpoint.
I mean, if we get the Ravens team that we got last weekend, I'd watch that.
Oh,
you know,
so Snoop Huntley's going to play?
Snoop Huntley is like the
Lamar's
Quinn
status
Ewers
is
of the
up.
Ravens.
And are they going to be playing the Packers who
He's like the Malik Willis of the Ravens. You
whose
know what I mean?
defense looks – yeah, no, I know. I understand. But don't disrespect Malik Willis. And I got a lot of respect for Snoop Huntley, but I think Malik Willis is a starting
Malik Willis
quarterback
is
in
a
this league.
dog. I 100% agree. I'm just saying, like,
But
there
who
are
would
times
be
where
the-
the
put
Ravens
the
offense
Saints
looks
in?
better with Snoop Huntley.
Put the Saints in?
Let's just put the AFC North and the NFC South team in like the Pop-Tart Bowl. You know?
Who would the NFC's at-large bid be? It doesn't have to be from
I mean, your first three out are Vikings, Lions, Cowboys, based on current standings.
Cowboys can never figure it out, but like nobody would be happy if the Vikings made it in the playoffs because of B-Flow's defense. That's like hearing the rumor, and I don't know how this makes any sense, but like Flores to Dallas, like people in the NFC East are like, fuck, you know, like,
Oh, yeah.
oh,
It'd be
fuck.
problematic.
Majorly problematic. Anyways, that's 2 coughs, so you know.
Ooh.
That's 17. Last night, if you'd have had one in my room, bro, I'm so like last night. You ever get sick and feel sorry for yourself sometimes?
Literally every time.
Yeah,
It's really bad.
You got
try
the,
to be-
they call
I try
that
to
the
be
man
like a
flu on
fucking-
TikTok.
the what flu?
The man flu. Or like as a man, you get sick and just complain about it nonstop. That's allegedly what
I didn't
what it is.
complain. I didn't have anybody to complain to, man. I was coughing so much, my wife left the room and went and sleep upstairs.
You ever look into what you call it?
You
He
would
was
have
like,
coughed
"Good luck."
it.
Do you have allergies? Do you have maybe?
Oh, I got allergies.
Maybe is it from that?
No, this is like my whole like all my kids were sick and
Oh, okay.
Yeah, apparently
You know.
something's been
there's
going
something
around.
going on. I got my damn flu shot this year too. So if this is the flu, I'm kind of pissed.
Yeah.
You had one coughing fit that was so bad, I thought you were going to die then, too.
No, it got worse at night.
There were 2 times.
It got worse at night.
Sounds like you need like a big ass fucking jug of hot tea,
Yeah,
honey.
I've been.
You
into
need
the
some
flu
Mountain Dew
lately,
Code
bro.
Red, Chris. Trust
Yeah.
me. It's
All
gonna
right,
do
so
it for you.
do we get to talk about the Steelers now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, time to talk about. You guys brought up the. I'll go backwards to this to Saturday. I guess it was. Feels like 10 years ago.
Sheesh, no kidding.
Dude, the damn Packers are so disappointing. If anybody had any doubt why you make a trade for Micah Parsons, look at that tape. Unbelievable. So it's going to come down to the Ravens and the Steelers this coming week. I thought Derrick Henry ran like a man possessed, and the Packers sat in fucking 2 high structures, and they were like, "Come on, Derrick, fuck us all up." Like it was like that was crazy. Again, like Huntley, I don't know, he hit an inbreaker the whole game, but alas, and honestly, Malik Willis getting hurt, not even getting hit. Like they put in, what was it? Who's the third string guy? I was in such a
Blank.
glass case of emotion at the end of the game. Is it Clifford?
Yes, Sean Clifford.
Sean Clifford, man. When Sean
No,
Clifford
it
came
was,
out
it was
there.
Clayton Tune in this one.
Tune, former Cardinals legend.
Uh-huh.
Clayton Tune. They were like, and Clayton Tune enters the ball game. And, you know, Matt LaFleur, he can't stop talking about what a great personality he has. And then immediately throws a pick through Bo Melton's hands. who that target should be going to presumably a wide receiver that you drafted in the first round in Robert Golden, who hasn't really panned out for them.
Matthew Golden.
Matthew Golden, Robert Golden. I don't even know who Robert Golden is. Who's Robert Golden? Is there a Robert Golden out there?
Let's find out.
Man, Google that shit. But the point is,
Robert Golden, American,
yes, Robert
former
Golden,
safety.
former safety. I know Robert Golden. That's where I got Robert Golden's. He's a former Steeler. But I just, the Packers, man, they're such a frustrating team to watch. When you bet on them, you really feel like one of their fans. And I totally, like, I never had empathy for them because they've always been good. They've been the franchise that went from, like, you know, Favre to Rodgers and to Love. They're like, life is good. You got a bunch of Super Bowls. But honestly, if you watch that team closely, you understand why their fans might feel miserable watching them. That was unbelievable. So anyways, we got the Ravens. They get their win. All the Steelers have to do is win a damn game against the Browns. And they can't do it. And I got to say, man, I know that Rodgers isn't working with much outside with DK Metcalf down. But my God, like, dude, you got to find a way to win. You got to find a way to win. And Arthur Smith, I don't know if Arthur Smith's the guy dialing up the shot to Scotty Miller on 4th and 1. That's an ego throw, bro. If that's Rodgers saying, go on the line and be like, nah, I want to throw. I want to throw.
Was just his best friend. Gainwell was just his best friend. The past
I know, and all of a sudden you just phase him out.
He's wide open.
I know.
Like, oh.
They ran man coverage down there 1, 2, 3 times. They throw it to MVS every fucking time. The tallest guy on the field.
And I don't know if
who's like, literally, there's so many different better options, dude. It was just the Steelers are unserious, bro.
And did you talk about the fact that people are saying that their whole offense was revolved around not letting Myles Garrett get that sack? Do you think?
I do think there's something to that. I think
that is one of the reasons why they probably lost.
I think there's a thin line between saying we're not going to let this guy wreck the game, and we're not going to take. He's not even going to touch me. Like, I'm just going to dump the ball, or like they had to find ways. Is my only point is, like, you start the game out. It's a lot of running into like single high looks because you can't beat man coverage. So I get it. Like, you're not in a great spot. There weren't a bunch of plays to be made out there. But I didn't see any creativity until late in the game. It was like, it wasn't until that last drive of the game that you saw some of the quick game kind of design, quick game, whether it be an RPO or something like that you could just get the ball out of his hands. They don't have the man beaters. Cleveland's got a pretty damn good defense, man. And, I've never seen a guy that liked a back shoulder fade more than Aaron Rodgers in every situation. It was frustrating to watch. And the slide, man, like, again, this is what came up before the Scotty Miller shot. He's short of the sticks. And, I just think you're being a little greedy, taking a sack at the beginning of the fourth quarter. It's 10-6 in that spot. Again, it's a team. It's one of my pet peeves. Teams that don't understand the game that they're in. I talked about it with Josh, specifically with the Bills. But with the Steelers in this game, I just did not feel like they understood the kind of game they were in, which is wild to me considering it's that way every fucking time, dude. And it's 13-6. I felt like self-sabotage at times watching them play.
Chris, I got some chip stats for you from Myles Garrett because I was like, Aaron Rodgers spent all that time under Brett Favre, who famously gave up, that sack to Michael Strahan. Maybe that was at the top of his mind, but Garrett generated 6 pressures on 39 pass rushes. 5 of his pressures coming in the second half. Obviously, he did not record a sack, so he's 1 away from the record. They chip blocked him or double teamed him 16 times, which is 41%. 8th highest rate for an edge in a game this season, and 3rd highest for Garrett game this year. So, it wasn't the highest. It wasn't the most amount of times he's ever been chipped. But, like, you got to think they're in their, like, their pass rush meetings and stuff like that. And that has got to be the number one thing on their mind. I'm just curious to hear I'd be curious to see if Aaron Rodgers actually I don't know how much of a hand he had in that personally.
Well, I think the time to throw is probably quick. He wants to get the ball out. He don't want to sit back there.
It's been quick all year too.
It's been quick all year. I said this last night. I'll say it again. And I don't generally. I don't mean this to sound disrespectful, but take it as you must. If the Steelers win the Super Bowl, I will walk across the country. That's how sure I
Just
am.
Forrest Gump that shit.
In a year where every team I would love to, honestly, go Steelers. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. You guys, I'll see you in 2 years. But I'm living out in Colorado in a van. I stopped there for a decade.
Isn't there someone who just did that that was on the news?
There's some people doing some crazy shit. Dude.
I feel like people do it.
There's a guy that's been traveling around the world for 2 decades, bro.
Oh, maybe that's
which is incredible.
Maybe that's the story.
What a great life he has.
That guy hates his family.
Walking, right?
No, he never had one.
Yeah.
Carl Bushby.
And he's walking, right?
Yeah, he's been walking since 1998.
He's the real Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
How does he bankroll this?
Oh shit.
Well, you just walking. It doesn't cost you anything to walk. You're like
What about room and board?
Yeah. Well, you figure it out.
I always try to think about
It's kind of a kingpin situation.
The great outdoors.
But it's like when you do this.
You end up in some kingpin
So
situation.
when you do this and you get famous and people find out about it, it's just okay, I've been walking since when? Is he not paying taxes? Is he not paying?
You don't have to
the
pay
government?
taxes.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't. You're not I'm just passing through.
You just
walking's free,
passing
man. You gotta
through.
have a place
You made
of
it for
residence.
exercise.
Sleep in a different bed every night.
So I don't know, man. I would definitely. The point I'm making is it's remarkable to me in a year where I kind of feel like anybody can win the Super Bowl in the whole playoff, and we can do this as a fun exercise at the end of this thing, or maybe we'll save it until the seeds are really. But this team can't. They can't. Steelers.
They can't.
They can't. There's at least the Ravens have Derrick Henry. You know what I'm saying? If John Harbaugh would get it through his thick skull, just give him the ball, he can win a lot of games that way. And honestly, watching Snoop Huntley run the offense, right now, it looked as good as it's looked. That because they're playing with timing. And it goes back to the thing where it's
and so there's just no situation in your mind you're Steelers could pull it off.
No. Somebody paint me that picture.
What about defense?
And I hope that
defense just taking over. Defensive touchdown.
You better get 6 turnovers every game like that Indy game.
And special teams.
That's got to be it. That's the only way.
With DK off the field, Aaron Rodgers' passer rating drops 30 points from 99.9 to 69.1.
And that he threw the MVS 3 times in a row in that situation.
Yeah.
Yo, I wonder, if I'm DK, has he thrown the ball 3 times in a row to DK in a series yet this year? That would piss me off.
Oh, DK's man, what the fuck? But I did hear, and I did hear that they're not gonna they're gonna they're not gonna avoid, which I think is the right thing to do.
Yeah,
that's good on the Steelers, man. They're a proud organization. Just got done dumping all over this particular team, but
did you see Denzel Ward after going to him 3 times in a row? He said, "I don't know whose bright idea it was to try me for the game on 3 plays in a row."
I think it's Rodgers.
Yeah, Rodgers.
I think this was one of those games where Rodgers made piss poor decisions, whether he was frustrated or that ball to Scotty Miller. Sell me on it, bro. Why?
It's funny. It's funny because I wonder if they had any type of tiff during the game, and Rodgers was just I want to throw this. I want to throw this game winner on your fucking head.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what, I just want to throw this on your head because you think you're.
It kind of feels like something like that because it's it's inexplicable and nothing. There's no ball I like less than a fade in the end zone with the game on the line, dude. There's no ball I like less. There's 2 people I feel really good about throwing that to.
Is
Devontae Adams is one of them.
Yep. I was just about to say
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans is probably the other one.
Yep.
I mean, I'm sure there's others, but I guess that's the point.
This was his fastest time to throw in the season across the whole game.
Was it 2.2?
2.12 seconds.
2.12 seconds.
Sheesh.
You know how fast that is? It's crazy. So I'm empathetic to his plight for sure. This whole offense was built around DK Metcalf, and he's not out there. And so I'm empathetic to Rodgers' plight. But again, like, bro, it's like kind of like the Josh Allen thing, dude. You got to know the situation. Mm-hmm. What's the Darnell Wright news? What do you see?
Darnell Washington broke his forearm.
But there was did I see? Oh damn! Oh, that's a retweet to get him the Pro Bowl or something like that.
Yeah.
So Washington broke his forearm.
Broke his forearm, so that hurts them even more.
Golly, dude. I'm not walking anywhere.
Hopefully they get Calvin. Hopefully at least Calvin Austin will get you.
Somebody in the chat said, "Hey Chris, would you go to Mars if Tua won a Super Bowl? Gladly, if I could be so lucky."
But wait till Tua's on the bench. Does he have to play? Like, what if?
Oh, that's interesting.
What if he?
But I did a couple years ago. I got on Levitard when all those guys. Levitard, they're like a Miami group, and I think at that point they still thought I was kind of Looney Tunes about this thing. Mm-hmm. It was so funny to me because I was like, man, here's a list of the good teams they played. Here's a list of the bad teams they played. They averaged 19 points a game when they play good teams. They averaged 50 when they play bad teams. It's so clear to me. But everybody's like, I don't know what you mean. Okay. But I got on Levitard's show, and they were like, well, how certain are you, him and Stu Gotts and them? And I was like, I'll get a tattoo of, like, Snowflake, the Dolphin, if Tua wins them a Super Bowl. That's how sure I was, dude. That's how sure I was. So I don't know. Man, the Steelers are frustrating. You know how you can tell when I bet a team? Because I kind of get into like, man, I know what it's like to be a Steelers fan. Doing in a money line parlay, dude. And I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like yins. I'm like talking like them. Mm-hmm. I'm like, all of a sudden I have a Pat McAfee accent.
Yeah.
You really
saying down.
Yeah, I'm saying like, man.
First down.
Aaron Rodgers threw the ball down the field.
He want to throw it down the field to Scotty Miller. That's a tough accent to do, honestly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a very unique one. But anyways, that sucked.
Did you see this tweet from the Browns? The Ravens said perfect timing.
Don't think we did this for you. Yeah, don't think we did this for you, the Cleveland Browns. Man, they couldn't wait to get that Fannin touchdown on social media. And then they showed the pylon cam, and that ball was
Fannin quietly having one of the best rookie tight end years. Dude, he is good. He is good.
And I kind of like the 44 thing.
Me too, because it's unorthodox.
It makes him go under the radar.
Yeah.
But it's just like you always say, like, you make the number, and like that'll be cool. Like he like starts balling out, then you see a bunch of people being like, you know what, I'll grab 44, unconventional number at the end of your O line.
He's making it his own.
Dallas Clark,
killing it.
Dallas Clark, yeah.
So if the winner of we're about to kind of let's finish with the Jags, and then we'll talk about playoffs before we get to Bermuda Triangle and all that stuff. But
do you want to start with the Texans?
Texans. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. I forgot. Saturday. Dude, the Texans, again, I know I'm biased, but I think they can beat anybody. I really do. And it's just as simple as, like, their defense is that good and their offense is more consistent than, say, the Eagles' offense, which is a wild fucking thing to say, dude. You think about where their offensive line was at the beginning of the season. I think Trent Brown was huge for them coming in this year. And I also think just a great job of everybody improving. Like schematically, you can tell that they've kind of gotten a little bit more comfortable. CJ Stroud obviously being back helps a lot. It kind of makes you wonder if they had Joe Mixon this year, are they like a wagon?
I think that's the biggest.
If they had Joe Mixon this year,
I would be worried. I think the fact that they don't have him is a big difference.
No question.
And I'm not saying, look, Woody Marks, what they've done to like fill that void or try to fill that void, they've done a great job, but it just kind of shows like how good and how much of a weapon Mixon.
Oh, Mixon was and he kind of was. He was kind of the centerpiece in a lot of ways.
Big play threat on like running the ball, catching the ball out the backfield.
13
blocking for CJ.
1,300 all-purpose yards last year with 12 touchdowns.
Well, think about it. CJ Stroud does a pretty good job of firing that fucking pigskin over the middle of the field, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Hitting the fucking dig. pulling up the linebackers. Well, the linebackers don't pull up so easy when you don't have the guy in the backfield that demands your respect.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, you think about all the things that come off of that. I still think it's incredible that what they've been able to do to piece this thing together. I will say, on the Texans side of things, it was a perfect game plan from a standpoint of let's take some shots early, right? What's the worst thing that happens off the rip? We go 3 and out. Let's just take a shot. Let's see what happens. You get the old Mina Kimes special, cover 4 beater. Shout out to Coach Jason Brown, and you're off with a lead in a game that, like, honestly, Justin Herbert's got nothing up front, and you're gonna fucking abuse this guy. And I thought, and they hit 2 of those shots, obviously, but I just think going on the road from a standpoint of a game plan and saying, hey, we're gonna take a couple shots and try to get a lead. It was the perfect kind of. My brain doesn't work because I'm sick. But it was the perfect kind of thought process for them, dude. It was, and they executed to perfection. They didn't have to do much for the rest of the game. And on the Chargers side of this thing, listen, I got some bad takes. I got some good takes. What I said about Justin Herbert 2 weeks ago or a week ago, and that social came out, and 90% of people were like, "Yep, you're exactly right." Like, considering the circumstance, there's nobody playing better right now. And then, you get your 10% of people that are maybe short kings, and they're just mad because Justin Herbert's tall or something. And they're trying to discount what he's doing. Maybe they don't watch Chargers games, but I'm so glad that the Chargers played in a nationally televised window, so you could see. And if you didn't see, that was the what's the word? It was the perfect example. It was the perfect example of what I was talking about. Huh?
Quintessential?
It was the quintessential Justin Herbert game, this era of Justin Herbert, which is fucking great football. But my God, dude, the letdowns, Gadsden, dude, and I know there's people like, you got to take something off that. Fucking guy's an NFL tight end. Catch the ball. You know why he's ripping that ball? Because Will Anderson's about to Q-tip him in the ear. Seriously, it's a fucking Will Anderson won so damn fast, and you got that thing up. The other one, where he's climbing the pocket, he's got 2-3 people. This is insane, dude.
The problem with Justin Herbert is that he doesn't play all 10 positions on the field.
Yeah.
I don't have to go back and forth with you. If you don't think he's one of those guys, just watching the game, or that the deck is stacked against him in the current form of this offense, then like you're just a hater. Like and that's bad for you. Like, honestly, hating will age you. It will, like, pretty fast. And it's not good for your health. So I would just try to stop or just watch more of the games, because this is legitimate, and Justin Herbert will not play against the Broncos.
That's good for his health. We'll see.
It's fucking great for his health, dude.
We'll see Trey Lance on Sunday. The Broncos will. And
oh, my God, Mellow with the dot. I really do like you, buddy. He goes, Herbert gets all the ifs and excuses. LOL, give the same treatment to Lamar. Such a bad take. Brother, you might be a hater. You just might be a born hater. Like, you might have been born to hate, dude.
Hey.
And it is not healthy.
How can you watch Justin Herbert like in a game like that and not like?
I'm gonna tell you
him?
why. Because when he got drafted, everybody hates the tall central casting quarterback because of what's been done to quarterbacks that look different. I'm just telling you, and it is unfair as fuck what has happened to quarterbacks that don't look like Justin Herbert in the NFL over time, but that doesn't make hating Justin Herbert right. You just hate the hot blonde. You just hate that you're like a chick that hates the hot blonde. I'm sorry you're brunette. There's a lot of hot brunette chicks, but like you're the blonde walks in the room and you're the chick that hates the hot blonde. That's you, dude. And I'm just like, I feel bad for you in that, right? Either that or you're not watching the game, because that was the quintessential. That's a good word.
Yeah.
That's the quintessential fucking game that I'm talking about. They left 10 points out on the field. I mean, Dicker missed an extra point, a field goal. You got 3 bad drops, 1 that goes in for a touchdown. You're playing against the best defense in the league. You've got, 19 offensive line combinations this year? I'm sorry,
I think up
bro.
to 26 now.
You can't gaslight me. You can't gaslight me. You know, maybe join a support group for people that hate Justin Herbert.
Or you go to the player haters ball.
And he might, bro. And here's the thing. I don't think this team's good enough to go all the way. So, like, you know, in 2 weeks when they lose, don't be like, dude, read the fine print. The fine print says considering the circumstance. It doesn't say Justin Herbert's going to win a Super Bowl this year. And to think that, Super Bowls and playoff runs is everything when it comes to, considering what the guy's got around him is just reductive. I'm sorry. Chances are it's not going to be their year. But fuck, they made it interesting down there. Mm-hmm. They made it interesting. So
yeah, but you can feel optimistic though if you're a Chargers fan, right? Like you can see what Harbaugh is trying to build, and like all the injuries to the O-line and their running backs and just the injuries in general to their team has derailed that a little bit this season. But you got to kind of tip your cap to them for at least Justin Herbert for just being so fucking gutsy. And it's like, dude, the quintessential play. I know exactly what you're talking about. You get a win on the 3-tech and the edge player. Justin Herbert rolls out, rips a ball that's immediately dropped by his receiver. It's like, how many times did that happen?
Dog, like I'm just telling. And the other thing is like it's the constant. And this is what I hate about today's media and social media landscape is that but you don't do this for Lamar. I have made a living of defending Lamar. On this show. I'm the one who, after the Buffalo game last year, was like, yeah, but he's the best. I love the guy. I love Lamar. Lamar hasn't done dick in the playoffs, dude. You want to be real? I love Lamar. Lamar hasn't done dick in the playoffs. So they're on the same plane, dude. The only difference is MVP, regular season awards. And Lamar has played poorly this year. I'm the one who's given him the out all year. I think he's hurt. And I hate their offense. But you can't do this. Fans are, it's wild, dude. Like it's like you just don't like using logic. It's too much emotion. I don't know, man. Because I love Lamar. I do. And I don't even know, it's a stupid thing where it's like, but you don't do the same thing for my favorite quarterback. Like, that's just the dumbest line of thinking. I try to think in nuance on all these quarterbacks. There's a couple I clearly don't like, and I think you know who those are. But I've given Lamar he's like a cat, dude. He's got 9 lives. To be honest, if Josh Allen played the way Lamar's played in the playoffs, what would you say about Josh Allen? That's my version of that. What would you say? Fucking scored like 9 points against the Titans. It's back-breaking turnover after back-breaking turnover. But I still love the guy because the playoffs is a crapshoot. You know how long it took John Elway to win? Didn't Elway, it took him a long time to win a Super Bowl. Dan Marino never won one. Fucking some of these quarterbacks, it took a decade plus to win. So I don't disrespect quarterbacks based on not winning a Super Bowl. I kind of take into account how they play in the playoffs. And Justin Herbert doesn't have a resume there yet. So that's where the rubber meets the road in about 2 weeks here. So, anyways.
Chargers.
It's more, I'm just ranting about the way we break down quarterback play. It is so immature the way people kind of,
No question. The Chargers lost here. Made this a hat and T-shirt game for our guy, Cowboy Reed. Congratulations, Reed.
Thank you. Which Sean Payton said they don't even know where the hat and T-shirts are. They're like, yeah, we don't worry about that. We're on next week.
And another thing is, we do it. Here's the thing I haven't even covered on this show. The article that came out about Lamar, which could just be salacious bullshit, right? You got a lot of people saying, and what exactly was uncovered in that? Stays up late playing video games, falls asleep in meetings, like yada, yada, yada. You had people saying, like, this is a hit piece. If it's true, this is not a big deal. I don't think you understand how an NFL building works then. Because if that stuff is true, it's not great. And if it's not true, it's really fucked up. And I know this writer has a history of hit pieces for players. But the point is like, a lot of people might be anti-Lamar, and a lot of people might be, what would the opposite of kid gloving Lamar be? I'm the one who actually stands up for the guy on a regular basis on this show. I just keep it a bean, dude, which I know has some people in a pretzel mentally. Okay, We talk about the Broncos.
Quickly, so yeah, a little Christmas action. We saw the Chiefs' backups, half backups, half starters. Chris Jones was out there, but the rest of the squad, they were a little light because of injuries. I'm happy with the way that the Broncos played. I'm happy with the way that Bo Nix ripped the ball. He took what the defense gave him. When you play Steve Spagnuolo, especially that iteration, you weren't going to be able to push the ball down the field. You weren't going to be able to take shots. And he took the underneath throws. He threw to the sticks when he needed to, and it was ugly, but we got that dub, and rolling right into Week 18. Another 2 years in a row, a Week 18 game where we get to play a team that is resting their starters, where we don't have where fingers crossed it's going to be smooth sailing. So
that was close. That was a little close for comfort, but you guys are used to flying close to the sun, and Again, I think the one concerning thing is you've seen a couple teams that have made Denver earn it offensively, and I think they're really good, but I don't think, and I don't want to be unfair. There might be another quarterback that I'm being more fair to, but I don't think Bo Nix, if you make him convert 6 third downs on a drive, eventually I feel like I can get off the field, and so if that's the way people want to play them, then it does concern you a little bit. It happened in the Raiders game. Yeah. It happened at, obviously you're going to sit back and make them earn it. I think if you can kind of keep them in front of you, and part of the thing that hurts is you don't really have like a dynamic run game.
Yeah.
And so you can't play people out of sitting in too high structures.
Right.
So I kind of wonder how that's going to work in the playoffs. One interesting matchup is like, when they play the Chargers, they kind of dare people to run the ball, right? Mm-hmm. That's kind of that's a good way to play the Broncos.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So
Bo Icarus Nix.
Is that his name?
Icarus, like fly close to the sun.
Okay, got
Bo
it.
Icarus,
yeah, okay,
Nix.
good.
Nice.
That's good.
But one thing, a couple weeks in a row, we've had long drives early in the game, and we've only come away with field goals that's allowed teams to stay in it. So we're up 6-0, and then boom, the other team goes down and gets a touchdown. Happens against the Chiefs. We're going to punch those touchdowns in come playoff time. I guarantee it. We're going to knock it right down the field. Cortland Sutton's going to catch the ball in traffic like he always does, and the refs are going to give Troy Franklin the benefit of the doubt on those when he's not down and call it a touchdown. So look out, Playboys.
Look out,
girls.
Play boys and girls, yeah. So that's the AFC, isn't it? Oh, we got the Jags. Sorry,
Colts.
fuck. Hey, here's what I'm saying, Nate. I don't care that it was close, because they're a good team. Now that you trust the team a little bit, I'm not going to be sitting there like, man, you almost lost to Phillip Rivers. They weren't great in the red zone. You guys weren't great in the red zone. I think it's fine. It's more important that you win the game. It's more important that you find a way to win the game, and that's what they did. Having said that, like. What were you 2 for 5 in the red zone?
Yeah, we didn't have a good day in the red zone, and then Trevor threw a pick. But the crazier thing about it was just like I still feel like we were in the right spot. We got cute early, which I think threw off the momentum.
Mm-hmm. Our momentum. Cute. That was cute,
bro. Like, and the worst thing about it was if you watch the play, it just got muddied up at the start with Etienne trying to get out the initial pack in the middle of the play.
Yes.
That play was going to be a first down. Maybe if not, like if he could have made a move to get to a touchdown, but I'll just keep it conservative. It would have been a great play. Mm-hmm. It would have been like a ooh-ah if he just kept that, but those type of plays where you got to handle the ball, there's always a risk in there, and to fumble in that spot after driving the ball like we were, it throws momentum off. And that turnover was big. And then Trevor to throw a pick in the end zone, which he hasn't done in so many games for a while.
Everybody gets one.
Yeah, everyone.
And especially when you have a good 4 to 6 weeks, this is how it works. Then you get one of those. Everybody's like, all right, fuck, no big deal. I don't think I no longer think of him like Sam Darnold.
Mm-hmm. And I think everyone is one of those things. The switch has flipped where I feel like the coach he trusts Trevor, that he knows, hey, if Trevor does make a mistake, he's going to be able to bounce back. We're going to get it right. We're going to have my guys in the right spot.
Yeah.
And even that interception is just like, I feel like that was the hit on that linebacker. Hey, he turns his back, one-on-one balls, like it's geared toward the offense to win those.
Yeah.
And he made an amazing play.
Yeah.
He made an amazing play in that interception. And I would say as a Jags fan, the reason why it makes me happy is that as well as everything's been going these past 6-7 games, it's like you don't want to be riding too high on your own supply.
That shit can sound cliche, but it's true.
Like going into the playoffs.
You need to have a wake-up Monday.
Exactly. And you got to see, and it makes the team feel good. Like, hey, we had a little adversity, but like we still won this game. Like we still got the win. It wasn't like we're not blowing teams out. We had to play to the last minute of the game where we're unsure if we're going to pull this game out or if this game is going to stay closer than it was. But honestly, not to be a big-time hater, I just feel like the Colts 4 weeks ago, they dropped the ball, and like, yes, it wouldn't have been an amazing comeback story with Phillip Rivers, but I honestly felt like because when Daniel Jones got hurt, it was against the Jags. I thought that Riley Leonard played well enough.
You thought he played well. I remember you saying that.
I just thought he played well enough. If he was a guy that's been playing good, been doing practice squad stuff the right way, just been waiting his chance to get in, that just sucks to be like, oh, my shot is here. And then at the end of that game, the way it went, you hear, oh, they're calling a 40.
It's kind of a cool, but it's kind of a cool thing to see. I get the reason it's so people get enamored with it is number one, it's the nostalgia of like, and the holy shit, you never see this. Somebody like off the couch, and then what you see in real time is like the very human element of not being able to throw the fucking ball very far. And
how hard is it?
And also, like, he has an NFL fringe Hall of Fame guy who 4 years ago, he was starting an NFL game, and their throws, they just aren't on the menu for them. And, like, honestly, it's funny when you see them play schematically, he has them in the right place, going to the right place with the football.
Can't get
if
it.
If you gave him somebody else's arm.
Yeah.
Like, it's the perfect example of the elevators. You know, the mental elevator and the physical elevator. Mm-hmm. His mental elevator is way up here. He's above the penthouse because he's coaching at this point. You know, he's quarterback, then he's a coach. He understands, like, I heard a story about somebody on Raw Room, I think it was McCluster, was talking about shout out to Raw Room, and Bates, I see him on TV all the fucking time. But, you know, McCluster gets San Diego, and they're lining up. And he's like, yeah. I know it says block him. Don't block him. Like, just run over here.
Run.
It was kind of like the Rodgers telling Gainwell to, hey, do this. Just, it's not when you're that type of quarterback, and honestly, I think it is like the quarterbacks of yesteryear for the most part, because the game's changed a lot. And I'm not saying the new quarterbacks aren't as smart as Phillip Rivers. I'm just saying they had to come up in an era where it wasn't pure progression passing. Mm-hmm. It was like truly reading defenses. It's like being able to check protections, check in and out of stuff. It's a pretty interesting experiment to watch. And, kind of a rock and a hard place. I kind of do wish in retrospect that, I wish for the young man anyways, that he didn't break his orbital. But fucking Anthony Richardson, it would have been fun to see what they had for him the last 4 or 5 games of the year. And now you have no idea.
No, it would have, but like even saying that, I would have liked to see how Riley Leonard did. And then I just feel like it's somewhat of a slap in the face, like knowing that you guys can't do anything and there's no playoffs. But like, hey, Riley, we're not going to start you this week. We're going to tell you now before this game that we're going to start you next week when the game really doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah,
like
that's
like,
fucked up. But Riley Leonard, but I will say Riley Leonard and a bunch of guys around the NFL this year, as you know how it is hey, all of a sudden, hey, it's an audition.
No, absolutely. But it's just like a 4-game audition will look way better.
It would.
Like, you know what I mean? Because like it's like now you think about it like, okay, they go to this last game and they play Houston, right? Is it?
Hold on.
No, they play.
Or
no, they play at Houston.
Is it Houston?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Hey,
so
here you go, Riley.
Exactly. Here you go, Riley.
Have fun out there, buddy.
To Houston, but like even if But like, think about this. What
you
if
go,
he goes
Riley.
out there?
They can't put
shot-
Phillip
he
Rivers out there, bro. That's
that could
elderly
be,
abuse.
you could be liable. Like you could kill
Yeah.
it. You could get a guy
Yeah,
killed.
I know.
Lawsuit.
Yeah.
But they played him already. They
The
played him
NFL's
already.
like, hey, he came back for his insurance, but we don't want that to kick in. You
Exactly.
can't,
Yes.
like, he's going to die.
Yeah.
You guys can't play
But
him.
my thing
Yes.
is now for the Colts, it's like knowing that Daniel Jones isn't starting your season next year, and realistically, Phillip Rivers isn't starting your season next year. So if Riley Leonard goes in here and throws 5 touchdowns this game and
Yeah.
wins, like it's one game.
Yeah.
It's a one game that you have to read off this, and like I feel like your offseason was already fucked. The fact that Daniel Jones got hurt, and it's going to be a scramble to figure out what you're going to do. But I just feel like if you had 4 games to watch Riley Leonard and be like, you can at least be like, all right, we know that he's our definite 2. Maybe he plugs the hole for us while we wait for Daniel Jones or we do something else. But I just think now you're back in a crazy position because, yeah.
I mean,
like,
Riley
Phillip
Leonard did
Rivers
play
not-
last week for the Colts, though. He did
Phillip
play.
Rivers, he can't whatchamacallit. Yeah, he threw
Dude,
that Hail Mary.
Okay,
ripped
Col-
that ball.
Colts are, we can put them. Here's the thing, and we're looking at these numbers now. Trevor Lawrence blitzed on 43% of his dropbacks the last month, 39 of 60, 588, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He's got answers to the test now. And honestly, when you look at this group, you know, who are the teams that can get pressure with 4 in the AFC? I always talk about this. Who are the teams in the AFC that can get pressure with 4?
Jags.
Texans.
The Texans. That's the matchup, dude. I'm telling you, honestly, those 2 teams.
I like it. I like it.
Hey,
Marco versus King.
let's talk about the AFC. Fucking my dude Mello with the dot. He's like, got cussed out for defending my QB. It's a tough time. We love you, dude. The problem is, I hate when I'm told that I'm thinking something I'm not. The gotcha, what about this guy? What about this guy? Oh, I also defended Lamar. What if I also defended Lamar for the last 3 years? All right.
Real fast,
Yeah.
we were talking about Dexter McCluster and Phillip Rivers. J.J. Watt had this viral, story when Phillip came back and said, "I'll never forget lining up for a play," and Phil pointing to one of our linebackers and telling him he was lined up wrong based off the blitz we were about to run and being 100% correct.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
What do you do if you're that linebacker? You're like, oh, what? Oh, shit.
Cerebral players. I mean, I've told this story before.
You got to just drop.
The couple of games.
Yeah, I'm out.
The couple of games I got to play in with Brian Urlacher
Yeah.
as nose guard. There was definitely times he was just like,
Get lined up.
no, he was like, dude, you're supposed to do this, but he was like, do this. And he goes, if they say anything to you, he goes, I got your back. He goes, I promise you. And then he had told me before, he was like, listen, if I tell you this in the game, he goes, it might not be the play. He's like, you'll probably get yelled at it, but he goes, I promise you, I will have your back every single time and let them know that I told you. And I remember the time he was like, yo, shoot this gap. And he ran through the other A gap so fast and got a TFL.
Yeah, he's using the chessboard.
Right?
He's
I was
like
a dummy. I was a dummy in that play, but it opened up what he needed.
It's pretty crazy to see somebody like that just knows more ball than he's forgot more ball than you're ever going to learn. It's like, man, it's crazy. You think about somebody with that vantage point, a Hall of Fame player like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's look at the AFC playoff picture. So we can make sense of what we've got going on this weekend. Obviously, we have, and the NFL hit it out of the park. Congratulations, guys. You got the AFC North title game, which is kind of like watching a basketball game at Madison Square Garden in April, college basketball game, if you know what I mean. Or is it March? Is that when the NIT is?
The Big East
No,
tournament?
the NIT tournament.
Before it.
Yeah.
The NIT.
Yeah, NIT tournament.
Not in tournament.
No. So this is
So playoff clinching scenarios. The Broncos clinched the AFC's #1 seed with a win versus the Chargers. New England gets it with a win versus the Dolphins and a Broncos loss. Jacksonville gets it with a win versus Tennessee and a Broncos loss and a Patriots loss. Jacksonville clinches the AFC South with a win versus the Titans. Houston clinches the AFC South with a win versus the Colts and a Jaguars loss. The Patriots clinch the Pittsburgh clinches the AFC North with a win versus the Ravens, and Baltimore clinches it with, that's just straight up who wins the division.
Riley fucking Leonard for the South.
So teams that you trust here in the AFC. Again, there's one team that I'm just like, I don't believe it. it's the Steelers, but
if your other teams in the league, would you rather the Steelers or the Ravens win this game?
I would rather the Steelers win it.
I want the Steelers to win.
We don't want to see Derrick Henry.
Right.
That's fuck that. And like, what if Lamar gets healthy and like looks like the Lamar from last year?
Right.
What if he doesn't stay up all night gaming?
Okay. Okay. That's it's salacious. We don't know if that's true.
You taking Rodgers or CJ Stroud right now?
Considering the situation
with the defense for the
CJ
Texans,
Stroud.
I'm taking CJ Stroud.
Dude, I think honestly, I know you're gonna say I'm like, it's just me being all my bullshit, but like, there might be no team I trust more than the Texans. Team.
I agree.
Because you think about the type of game that they make you play.
Yeah.
Like, it is so uncomfortable for people. Like, I love Josh. I don't want to see the Bills and the fucking Texans play. I think the Texans probably win that game. I do. They did it earlier this year. They did it 2 years ago. I don't think the Chargers. The Chargers proved they damn near could beat them, which is a wild thing. I don't know of any team. I don't think that the Patriots want to see the Texans. No disrespect.
No,
I don't think the Broncos want to play them.
Not a chance.
14-9 or whatever that was with Davis Mills playing quarterback.
Half the game. Jalen Petrie might have been damn right when he said after the game against the Chargers, God is the greatest. The Texans defense might be second.
That's hilarious. Might be
second.
So that could be your AFC Championship matchup. It could be an AFC South Championship matchup. I don't know how it's going to fall from a standpoint. So if the playoffs started today, what are the matchups?
So today, Broncos have the bye. The Patriots see the Bills. The Jaguars see the Chargers, and the Steelers see the Texans.
Can you put it up in like a fucking? Don't we have like a if the playoffs started today?
The Chargers would have to go back to Jacksonville, and they would just have to watch that tape of.
And that was belt to ass.
It was belt to fucking ass that game, bro.
Okay, so I'm looking at it. You don't have like a little like.
I'm trying to find one. Bracket.
Somebody give me a bracket.
Yeah, we got to get the.
Okay, here we go. Here's a bracket. Shiny bracket. Put this thing up on the screen. And chances are in the AFC, nothing really changes, yeah?
Ooh,
there's just one team that really subs out.
Oh, Pittsburgh? That would feel good. Pittsburgh knocking off the Texans. You could start getting your walking shoes ready.
No, I'm not getting my walking shoes, bro.
Maybe buy a walking stick.
You have a new Rodgers meme.
Them boots on.
You have a new Rodgers meme with his fucking...
Just stay in Africa, Killian. Just walk back.
I really might.
If they found a way to win, Rodgers would find this clip, and he would probably buy you walking shoes and like a walking stick.
The Super Bowl? If he wins the Super Bowl? I'll be on my way, dude. I really will be on my way. And that's no disrespect to Aaron Rodgers. I'm talking about the damn team. Because he's going to use it as an out after the season. He's going to be like, man, I don't have enough around me. Like, come on. We all know. Mm-hmm. So, like, right now you can big up Scotty Miller and big up Kenny Gainwell and all these cast-offs or whatever you want to say. But, like, you can't have it both ways. Okay, so if you look at this right now, Chargers, Jags, you kind of feel like the Jags are favored in that matchup for sure. I think they'd be like field goal plus favorites at home. Mm-hmm. I think the Pats would be favored at home, but I think the Bills win that game.
I think the Bills want the Pats, dude.
I think the Bills want the Pats, dude. I'm with you.
The Bills, they've beat the Pats. They just beat them most recently. The Pats don't have a super strong schedule. They've got some holes without, Milton Williams. Like, I honestly think that that's the best possible scenario for the Bills.
So you get Denver would get the lowest seeded. Man, you could get Denver Buffalo. You could get Denver Buffalo.
Be a good game. I would love that game.
It would be a good game. This one in Mile High.
It kind of would be a good game because y'all can't run the ball like that.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So like that's the one thing where it's like, and you got Cortland Sutton. You put Benford on Cortland Sutton, and you figure it out the rest of the way.
Mm-hmm. But if it went the other way. It would possibly be what Denver would have to play the Texans.
Yeah, Denver could have to play the Texans. So Denver's got, and here's the thing, and Logan Ryan brought this up, my old teammate Logan Ryan, who's in the media now, and I saw him talking about this on my timeline today, which is like, listen, everybody wants that bye. Not saying you don't want that bye, but for teams that aren't used to having it, what I learned when I got to New England, obviously I didn't even know what the fucking playoffs were. But like, hey, I'm in the playoffs, and we got the bye. It was evident to me how important how you spend your bye was. Like, it's like, but it was so like regimented and so intense. you know, like which it should be, right? It's not a week off. It's an opportunity.
It's a bowl game.
And it's also a trap.
It's like a bowl game week.
Yeah, but it's like a trap, too, because
Yeah,
if you
'cause you
don't
can-
do your thing, you're going to get stale.
Yeah.
And that's why I always worry about teams 1 seeds in the first half of games coming out of, you know, you talk about Denver, the way they're up and down, like they get a week off, they come out of that thing and they're fucking like, they're tiptoeing or whatever. All of a sudden you could find yourself down. Jacksonville would face probably, if they beat the Chargers, they would face the Texans in the second round?
Yeah.
Golly, dude, we might get a Yags. Oh, man.
Crazy.
Yags Bills?
And obviously, since
Oh.
the Texans,
I'm telling you, bro.
the
I'm
Texans,
exiting the chat. I'm not even gonna be in the chat.
Seriously.
the Texans, Chargers, and Bills all right now, they're the 3 wild card teams. They're all 11-5. We're talking about if the season ended today. Obviously, they're going to change a little bit in Week 18. But the Chargers do have the tiebreaker over the Bills right now based on common opponent total wins.
Okay.
So that's why they're sitting in the 7th.
And then the NFC, and a little can change here.
Yep. NFC, the Seahawks right now have the number 1 seed. Obviously, the 49ers are still in play, but the matchups would be Bears, Packers, Eagles, Rams, and Panthers, Niners.
Well,
So the Eagles are going to want to win and hope that Detroit takes care of business because you would much rather see Green Bay. Green Bay is truly they're looking like a 7 seed. They're playing like
Every NFC team wants the Bucks to get in, I feel like, too.
Oh,
They're the
man.
Steelers of this fucking group. I'm trying to see this tiny little graphic, Cowboy.
How about the way San Francisco beat up Carolina at Levi's like
Man,
a month or two ago? Like, and you were like, if you'd have told me, hey, this is a playoff preview, I'd been like, fuck.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So
I don't think Eagles want the Rams, man.
No, they
I mean,
don't. That's the
why
point.
they're yeah.
But I gotta
exactly.
say, there's a wild thing. I don't think Detroit can beat Chicago. As bad as they might want to spoil it, like, and 6 weeks or 14 weeks ago, whatever it was, 14, 15 weeks ago, Detroit blew the doors off Chicago. The rapid growth cycle of this Bears team, I think they're ready to take care of business and hold up onto that 2 seed. And honestly, this is how wacky things are. I think Green Bay can beat them. Now, they didn't have Burden. I talked up Burden a lot, and they didn't have him in the second matchup. But I do think Green Bay, as weird as it is to say, I think they've got a shot in that game. So it's all matchups, man. And the NFC is suddenly wide open a little bit.
Yeah, the scenarios for the NFC, Seattle clinches the NFC West in the 1 seed with a win or a tie against the 49ers. The 49ers clinch the NFC West in the 1 seed with a win versus the Seahawks. That's just straight up. And then the other straight up is Carolina-Tampa. If Carolina wins or ties the Bucks, they're in with the NFC South title. Tampa wins the NFC South title with a win, and they have to have the Falcons lose.
So, okay, Tales of a Weed Smoker in here. Eagles do want the Rams. Sell me on that.
Wrong.
Without saying they beat them the last 3
Wrong.
times. Just sell me on that. Wait, no, you're not on the show, so but it's a rhetorical question, dude. Like if it's what's the alternative? We're talking about either playing the Packers or the Rams. You're telling me you'd rather have the Packers or have the Rams than the Packers?
No chance.
Is that what you're telling me? Tales of a Weed Smoker? I need what you smoking. I do. And I can't even smoke right now, really, because I got this terrible
Got
ailment
emphysema
going on. I did smoke last night, though. Smoked through it.
Shocking.
Well,
Yeah.
dude, I can't sleep.
You're built different, bro. Grind.
Built different. Coughing all night. All right. So, anyways.
You want to get lost?
Bro, I cannot fucking wait. I cannot
man.
fucking wait. This
You know
is
what's
going to
great?
be incredible.
You know what the best thing about seeing those playoff what ifs?
What do you mean? What is the best thing?
Not seeing the Chiefs up there.
The Chiefs, bro.
It's just not seeing the Chiefs.
I think that honestly, it's for the NFL. It's a good,
Amazing.
but it's a good case test for them. Like everybody talks about how they don't want to see the Chiefs in there,
Yeah.
but like, does this playoff kind of suck? You know how everybody's like,
yeah.
man, this is great. There's no good teams, but then are we going to see some bad ball in the playoffs? And like, do we need the heel? Like, who's the heel?
I don't know. But it's just
if there's
fun.
no Chiefs, who's the
The
heel?
Jags are the heel.
They might have
Yeah.
to be. They honestly they might have to be.
Well, I gotta say, they
small
kind of
market
make
team,
themselves
you
the
know?
heel because Liam Cohen and I'm
love
all
it.
about this
I
whole
love it.
thing.
It's smart.
But isn't it funny though? It is funny to be like, stay on that side, but then feel
Yes.
disrespected when
Yes.
we do.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's
like,
like, it's fake,
wait,
but
how
it's- but
have you
it's
not
perfect.
bought in? I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I tried last week, but you told me to stay on this side. Like, that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a silly fucking line of thinking where you almost feed off the disrespect. We've all done it before.
But it's the perfect thing for a locker room. Like,
It's great for a
especially, like,
locker
when
room.
you're coming from where they came from. It's not like that's a winning organization.
No.
And you're faking it. No,
No.
it's really like this. No
But I'm
one's
more
really-
talking about the fans.
Yeah.
The fans
Oh,
are
yeah.
funny because if you were to be like, yeah, you know what? All right, I'll accept it. You guys are good. You've had a really good 8 weeks.
No, don't do that. We
No,
don't
no,
want
you can't do that.
No.
You can't do that. You don't like the Jags. You hate the Jags. Stay on that side.
It's very
And
terrible.
then the next week it's like, well, you're not giving us enough respect. Still, you're not giving us enough
No, it's
respect.
because of people like Richard Sherman. Like he's been loud and adamant about Trevor and the Jags.
He might not like
No.
them.
Yeah.
Like me, I just legitimately didn't believe.
Yeah, and
I had to
and
see it
it's
to believe
true,
it,
like,
and I
it's
still
one of those
believe
We're
it.
things,
starting
like,
to
if you're
believe,
not-
though, Chris.
If you're not in the market, like you might not see the Jags play like at all. Like you might not really have a chance to see them.
Cough
play.
counter is about to break.
19.
Was that a serious cough?
Fucking with
Holy
Tanner.
shit.
I was fucking with Tanner.
I don't know if y'all saw Liam Cohen on Sunday hit the refs with a, "Are you guys fucking drunk?"
Oh yeah. And how about this?
awesome.
I don't.
Really?
Look,
Yeah.
Wrap this.
You know who was drunk?
Wrap this around.
The Carolina crew.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of them
Seriously.
were.
No, the refs, they were fucked up. They had me thinking for a minute, and I totally understand. When you're gambling, you start thinking that it's like wrestling. As much as I know it's not scripted, why did it seem like in the first half of that game, calls were going Carolina's way, and then when Tampa started getting their shit pushed in, they're like, all right, we're good. We're going to back off. We're going to get our championship game. Man, they assaulted JSN on the sideline. They just threw him into the fucking Gatorade thing.
Oh my God.
There was a face mask and a horse collar the same play. They were like, I don't know. They somehow
Look, I don't want to say this and give it any credence, but look, since Puka went on that stream and he said the shit about the refs, and the refs kind of wanted the spotlight too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of shit has been happening where it's like, yo, like.
I thought you were going a different direction with that.
Oh no. He said in the stream, he was just like, yo, you got to think about it. These refs, they want to be famous too. Like they want people to know who they are.
Yeah.
Like so, like that's why some calls, like they're they make calls and they're excited
Yeah.
and they do it a certain
Yeah.
way. And the last few weeks, you watch some of the games, you're just like, what the fuck is this ref
I
doing?
don't know, man.
That's
I don't
why
know,
Sean
that one
Hockley's
dude,
all
man,
yoked
and there was a
up,
guy
man,
last
bench
night
pressing 225.
on the fucking Sunday night game that he's got this perma smile. So when he makes a call that you don't like, you're like, fuck
yeah.
me? Fuck you. You know what I mean?
He's having fun out there.
Yeah, he's having a little too much fun.
Fucking
It's kind of like
gamblers.
people when they saw Darnold hit that ball on the sideline and both refs were like, you know, like instead of like, hey, completed pass, they were like, huh. You know, but it was still complete. All right, here we go.
Get lost.
The Bermuda Triangle, where football games disappear.
Oh, man.
I don't know, Jim.
Boy, do they.
This one might disappear.
Boy, do they. Brought my laptop up today. Oh, yeah, no problem. Really not too much to talk about. Only threw half the games in the Bermuda Triangle. Listen, Christmas Day football, take that NBA. We just throw some bullshit together last minute and still somebody pull up the ratings. NBA ratings, Christmas Day.
Did we win again?
Fucking guaranteed, dude.
Even with the bag?
Dude, honestly,
Charles Barkley was talking shit. He called the NFL greedy as fuck.
and the NFL is greedy as fuck. You know, I would watch a Pittsburgh Steelers inter-squad scrimmage before I would watch Wemby doing everything he does, which is saying a lot. It's just saying our sport's superior. Because, you know, like I should want to watch the 7'6" guy. What was the ratings?
Charles said the NFL got greedy and started adding Christmas games. We used to have this day to ourselves, but Roger Goodell and them pigs at the NFL always want to hog every day of the week now.
They are pigs.
Give me it all, down to the gristle.
Yeah, they're pigs. But yeah, here. Oh, you could watch LeBron or Josh Johnson. They're the same age. I think I'll watch Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson, career journeyman, got to play on Christmas, and they covered. Washington Commanders covered. That was something else. Washington, this is some wild shit. Washington had 8 standalone games this year. 8. Do you want to talk about, like, a monumental fuck-up that really couldn't be avoided? Like, who would have thought that they were going to be as bad as they were going to be this year? That's how good Jaden Daniels. When my kids are like, Dad, how good was Jaden Daniels his rookie year? I was like, they gave him 8 standalone games, son. 8. You had to be there. It was crazy. Now, I don't know how the rest of this experiment works out, but I think they're going to go back to the 1 p.m.s next year. 0-8 in those games. Negative 77-point differential.
Golly.
That's some wild shit. Back to the Bermuda Triangle for y'all. Back to the Triangle. You know, you also had Detroit on Christmas Day. That was a bloodbath. The classic, throw them in a teaser. What could go wrong? They're not going to lose this game. Brosmer's starting. He's going to throw for 25 yards. They lost to a team with a quarterback that threw for like 25 yards. Detroit is not well, dude. They are not well. We will talk about them more on the preview show later this week. That was a really concerning thing to see, especially because their season was kind of on the line. What was the other Christmas Day game? Triple header. We had so many good games.
Broncos Chiefs.
Oh, Broncos Chiefs. Yeah, we already did that one. As for yesterday, you had Pats Jets, which turned out to be the biggest lock on the board. They were up like 14-0 before you could blink. Didn't see the game.
A clinic from Drake May.
Was it?
Oh, yeah. Just
like
another
19 for 21 for like 5 hundo or something.
Yeah, damn near perfect passer rating is outstanding.
You could sell me on him being MVP.
Yeah.
Because at this point, Matt Stafford, I'm sorry if it's close, Matt Stafford's throwing the ball to 2 absolute numero unos.
Compare the arsenals.
He's got one of the best offensive coaches in history. He's got a great offensive line. Do I think he's a Hall of Famer? Fuck yeah, I do. But if Drake May and him got the same numbers, same record, now the only caveat is their schedule's been easy. I got it. But Drake May, you could make that case. You could definitely make that case. But if you're going to do the Drake May thing, then you might as well do the Herbert thing because they haven't lost that many games relative to the Pats. So, anyways, you had Pats Jets, Saints Titans. This was a quarterback clinic, Saints and Titans. Dude, one of these days when Tyler Shuck and Cam Ward are playing each other in the Super Bowl, they're going to be like, remember that sleepy Week 17 afternoon when these guys combined for like 15 drop-dead gorgeous throws, and Tyler Shuck's thrown for like 900 yards the last 3 weeks of the season. This dude's a pro quarterback. New Orleans Saints, you found yourselves one, and your defense has played well.
Yep.
It really is. Honestly, there is a case to be made that you're the best team in the NFC South. It's the at-large bid that we've been talking about the at-large bid. Nolan's a proponent of putting the Saints in the playoffs.
Put them in. Best honestly, team in the South.
It's hard to argue with them. And by the way, fucking Cam Ward is incredible. I mean, he's going to be incredible. And if they fumble the bag with this kid, he'll be another NFL player in a long line of guys that wasn't in the right situation. But I have so much confidence in this dude. I really do. I do.
His highlight reel from this season will just be outstanding. And a lot of them will be from this game. Made some absolutely inappropriate throws.
There. I need to talk to HR about some of those throws.
No doubt. Unreal.
He's got – you want to talk about arm arrogance.
Yep.
Whew.
He's got a lot of it.
His arm is Kanye West. He's got a Kanye West arm, dude. It's unbelievable. The guy's fucking unreal. The fucking throw where he throws it backwards as he's climbing the pocket and barely taps his knee, so it comes back. It was 4th and 2 or whatever it was.
That play, by the way, made Cam Jordan how much money?
It
was like
$800K.
Yeah,
it was like
I
think
it
so.
was over $500,000.
Yeah.
for sure.
Talk about living right.
Yeah.
Cam, you living right, bro?
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. Now, I will say this. I wanted to shout out a guy in this game. I don't even know who it was. I just saw the highlight of it. That got shook out of his shoes. I think it was Pettis shook him out of his shoes, dropped him, and then he gets up and re-enters the frame like 5 seconds later and forces a fumble in the end zone. That was an incredible play. I didn't catch the license plate
We'll see if we can find
on
it.
that compact car, but it was a defensive back. So we'll shout him out. And then Bengals Cardinals. What happened, Nolan?
I mean, this was just another offensive clinic from the Bengals. Another example of why it sucks for all of us as football fans. We won't get to see Joe Burrow do what he was put on this earth to do.
Yeah.
For the 3rd consecutive January. 300 yards for him, 5 receivers with 40-plus yards. Chase Brown, 100 on the ground. Best part about this game, we had a real hallmark moment to end the holiday season. Bengals offensive lineman Cody Ford, 21-yard reception in this game. Play was not designed for him. He was split out wide. Burrow got all the way through his progression and sent it over to Cody, who actually broke some tackles on the way to a first down. A pretty impressive run.
I go, man.
From the big fella. Ford called this moment a dream come true afterwards, adding, "Today will be with me for a long time, if not forever." It was also his birthday. Good
No
for him.
way. What a week for him.
That was
He
awesome.
gets a fossil for Christmas from his quarterback, which is the coolest fucking gift there is.
That's so cool.
It's the coolest gift there is. I don't care. Everybody's don't give me some shit I can buy. Like, I can't buy a fossil. Like, if you give me a fossil, and supposedly Ted Karras had the first pick, but this was, and then you throw me the ball. You give me a fossil and throw me the ball, dude.
Awesome.
That's my
Fly on the wall question. How do you think Joe got the fossils? I mean,
How did he get a Batmobile?
He
This
just-
guy's
he
Nicolas
just dug
Cage.
him up somewhere.
Honestly, he's Nicolas Cage.
Maybe he did dig him.
He has
got a fossil
some
guy.
Nicolas Cage sensibilities.
He's got a fossil guy.
Okay, Giants Panthers. This is about Abdul Carter. That's all this is about. Could I plant my flag once more? In a year, I'll be pulling up receipts and old tweets. This guy's a stud. Okay, since Shane Bowen, you wish Shane Bowen got fired. Abdul Carter has had 9 pressures 2 weeks in a row over the 4 games since Shane Bowen got fired. 4 games, 3.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. I keep leaving the triangle. I'm just gonna. I got stats here. 2 forced fumbles, 10 QB hits, 10 fucking QB hits, 22 pressures, 52 pressures. Second all time for rookies, and since they started charting that in 2017.
Enough for Rookie of the Year?
No, because I think Shuck's going to win it, which is a wild deal considering his market and where he kind of came from. It also speaks to there being no rookie superstar.
You see him post, he thinks he's going to win it.
Who?
Oh, not Verse. Carter.
Yeah, no, he's just being greedy. There's people that ask for Pro Bowl votes all the time that I'm like, bro, you really doing this? I'm kind of anti on the asking for Pro Bowl votes. I don't care who I offend.
But are we surprised he asked for Lawrence Taylor's number, right?
Yeah, the guy that asked for LT's number is definitely going to ask for, hey, vote for me for DPOY. You know what I mean? Like, he's not shy. The worst you can hear is no. That's kind of like his whole thing. So, but this guy's a stud, dude. Just wait. Abdul Carter, double digits next year. Book it. I'm telling you, turning the pressures into sacks is not an easy thing, but he will because he's plenty athletic enough to do it, and their coverage is going to get better. He's done this behind. Here's the thing. When you play on a defensive line with a lot of great players, they are over-factoring into the game plan in the front. And so sometimes the ball is going to be out a little bit quicker, especially when you have a good defensive line and a poor secondary, which they've had most of the year. Like, I've been on these groups where it's almost worse, and I think if they can get the fire put out behind him and these guys, I mean, fucking Brian Burns had 16 this year.
He's 1.5 yesterday. Got him to 16.5 on the season.
16.5
career high.
But Abdul Carter, next year he might not have to ask to get in the Pro Bowl. He might just get in the Pro Bowl. So yeah, good on him.
Pro Bowl's a joke now. Anyway.
Pro Bowl's
been a joke, right?
It's kind of bad.
Yeah, it's like a fine line. Like
It's easy for a guy like me to say because I never went and I was like a 7-time alternate. But you know, I did. Just
the NFL and it's just certain stuff. It's like you want to think some stuff is rigged, and then like when the Pro Bowl comes up, it's just like,
bro, no offense.
Are y'all really discounting all the votes that are coming in from people?
No offense. No offense to the fans. You should not get to vote on the Pro Bowl.
No, I agree.
Like, the fans should not have and I know some people might say, oh, well, it's not that much of the Pro Bowl.
Coming from someone who cheers for a small market team, I definitely understand that. Cam Little should be in the Pro Bowl. If not for just the drills.
Go to bat for your kicker, bro.
If not just the drills,
yeah,
you want to see stuff like that. You want to see the longest kicker.
Yeah.
And all that. But
I remember thinking I was going. And they were like, "You're going to the Pro Bowl," and I was like, "Well, I'm gonna go to the movies while they tally this up. I don't want to be like by the computer because back then we didn't have like smartphones like that. You had to sit by a computer." Mm-hmm. And I went to the movie, and when I got out of the movie, there were a bunch of "I'm sorry" texts. I was like, "Golly, bro, what do you got to do? They told you if you get double digits, you go." But that's not even the case anymore. Look at a lot of these guys that make it at defensive end. They don't even have double digits. Mm-hmm. The goalpost moves constantly.
Yeah.
It's just all fanfare. So no more fan voting in the Pro Bowl, man. No offense to y'all. I know there's some real ball knowers around there, but Shedeur Sanders was 10th in the Pro Bowl vote at some point this year. And no offense to the young man who I think has a chance to be a developmental kind of quarterback in the NFL. But that is some wild shit. And that's your quintessential, there's that word again, reason why the Pro Bowl shouldn't be a fan thing. God, I want to talk about the Pop-Tart Bowl. Let me get out of the fucking triangle before we do that. Get all hungry.
We got Moments coming up. We're going to give it to Moments.
Man,
but first,
what's it called?
Ring, 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 ring. Ring, ring.
Oh, ring, ring.
Ring, ring.
The landline.
Shout out Zone.
Landline.
With the Zone ad read.
Yeah, Zone ad read. Hold on a second. He reads like, go ahead.
Sorry.
There you go. Just pick it up. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Underage sale prohibited. Y'all know I'm a bit more selective in my nicotine pouches these days, so for me, the quality of the pouch is what I prioritize, which is why I'll pop in a Zone Wintergreen. 1 6 milligram is all I need, whether I'm kicking back and watching ball on a Sunday, floating on the river with Cowboy and the rest of the crew, or breaking down film ahead of the show. Zone easily gets me locked in with its smooth feel and a variety of flavors. Zone is always on our game day roster. Whether you like a fresh mint flavor or you're into citrus flavor, check out their roster of options and use promo code GL20 at nicokick.com/zone for 20% off at checkout. The ad read is over.
Ring, ring.
It really only takes me one. I'm a one-a-day guy, I'm a one-a-day guy. I like to wind down and watch the Bears. I like to watch the Niners cover with the zone in at the end of the night. Save that treat for the PM. What do we got now?
We got a zone or we got a phone line?
Oh,
caller.
Let's hear it. Let me put my fucking ears in, huh? Did it start already?
No.
Waiting on me. All right, no problem.
Joe from South Jersey. I just got done. It's 1 a.m. Monday morning. I just got done watching Chris Long do nothing short of a podcaster's equivalent of Michael Jordan's flu game.
Okay.
That was serious hot takes, funny as fuck still. Really impressive, dude. I just wanted to say, if you're going to go start that walk across America, make sure you hydrate first, bro. I would honestly get a couple of days rest first.
Mm-hmm.
But a man's got to do what a man's got to do. Keep it up. That was an absolute baller night.
Thanks, man.
I think they call that a glazing in the business.
That was a glaze, but you know what? Every once in a while, it's good to get a glazing.
It sure is.
What did Nate say in the chat? Nah, bro, glaze me, bro.
Yeah, glaze me.
Glaze me.
Yeah, for sure, glaze me.
All right, now we're gonna get the anti-glaze.
Yo, Chris, Casey, calling from Houston. Quick question for you, man. I got pretty bad trust issues with my team. You've been playing D-line, or you played D-line for quite a while, and you've been around some pretty good O-lines. What is it about the Texans, where we just, completely can't build a fucking O-line to save our life. I've been a fan for about 24 years. And I don't think we've ever had a good O-line. We have okay luck at quarterback, pretty good at drafting receivers and defensive ends. But I feel like you might have some analysis there on what constitutes a good culture, or if it's scheme, whatever it may be. I just have big trust issues with this team beating up on a Chargers team we should beat, but that O-line, man, it stresses me out.
I think, brother Houston, I think you are. I understand that you're kind of expecting the worst, but I think things are better than you think. And when you talk about drafting O linemen, I think there's two parts there. It's number one, having finding the right players, but also the right scheme fit. It's a very scheme dependent kind of deal. Like, are you a zone running team? Are you a gap scheme running team? Do you get your guys out on the perimeter? Do you need big, powerful guards? Do you want – I don't know. There's just a lot of different ways that you can draft up front. But I think, for instance, like I keep shouting out Trent Brown. Adding a Trent Brown, like sometimes it's just putting a big human being in there that's hard to run around. And I think he's helped your group a lot. Ursary's young, man. Like, give him some time. And he said he would die on the field. Like, that's enough for me. That buys him a year.
They were down both those guys in that game, too.
And they were down, dude. And that's the thing is, like, you play the Chargers. I think you're taking that win a little lightly. I know you kind of were like, yeah, well, we should beat the Chargers. Dude, like, that's not an easy deal. Chargers are a very good team. I mean, sometimes when you see the Chargers play, you're kind of like, man, this team has to squeak it out sometimes. But that's a good defense. You talk about Thule, congrats on the Pro Bowl. Speaking of guys that go to the Pro Bowl, Thule with the Pro Bowl, Khalil Mack, who is hell on wheels to deal with. That's a tough group you just played, OA, the whole group. So those guys on the side, too, are pretty good. That's a good defense, man. Be happy you got that win. I think, Houston, we have Houston, we have an exciting month on our hands coming up, dude. It's Houston, we have a chance. You know what I'm saying?
Put it on a T-shirt.
But as far as drafting O-line, you guys drafted Dwayne Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not been all bad. Anyways.
Boom. Those are thank you for calling in as always.
Yeah,
and don't forget to do that. Ask some questions. Let us know what you think. And now we're jumping over to the BetMGM Moments, sponsored by BetMGM.
Oh, yeah, the moments. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Shall we?
We shall. There might be another card over there for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm just firing on all cylinders right now. My Advil's wearing off. Starting to feel sickly again. This holiday season, BetMGM is giving you the gift of another chance at first touchdown scores. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back in cash if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you cash your bet. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. Like a little holiday bonus from us. Don't miss out on this festive offer. And don't forget, if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code GREENLIGHT to enjoy up to a $1,500 new player offer on your first wager. BetMGM, make it legendary.
Make it legendary. Fellas, let's make it legendary with the best flight.
Why don't y'all boys start me off with the best flight?
Best flight, easy. Easy flight from Indy back to Jacksonville.
I love it.
Got to give it to the Jags. Feeling good going into the postseason.
Feeling good. Feeling great.
Still having a shadow of a doubt or a chance of winning the whole AFC if a whole bunch of dominoes fall this weekend. Right. So we're feeling good.
Bo?
Right.
Best flight. I'm gonna go nice little Saturday game. You get a win against an AFC opponent that's, they're 11-4 at the time. It's not too far from LA back to Houston. So I'm gonna go with the Texans. You also terrorize Justin Herbert all day. So if you're a defensive lineman on that flight, you're probably really feeling yourself. Best flight, Texans.
Texans. Christopher.
I'm having a hard time deciding, but I think it might be the Philadelphia Eagles. There's nothing like a hot shower and a hot meal after a monsoon game where it's cold as fuck. Big physical monsoon game. Those D linemen, when you play a game like that and you just dominate somebody and you feel like an alpha male. You feel like Genghis Khan riding a big horse back to Mongolia is what you feel like. And you're sitting up in first class, presumably, and you got snacks and you're probably getting ready to watch the Sunday night game. And you're like, look at all this fucking scoring. None of that today because we're really good. I want to give it to the Eagles defense. Nothing like getting dry, getting warm, getting on a flight. That's a short flight too, by the way.
And Zach Baum was all over that in the post game. He was like, I'm going to go get this warm shower, get home.
Bro, there's nothing like it.
He knew it.
There's nothing like it. It feels great.
All right, so we are picking. And Nolan, your selection?
I'll go with Bo with the Texans. Get that day off.
Yippee!
I'll go Jags.
I'm going Texans too. That day off sounds nice.
It's like a snow day. Like
Yeah.
a day you're not expecting that off from school.
Right. And you get
Free
to watch
day, you get to
everybody
watch some
else.
football.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
your other, compatriots have to go to school. You're like, haha. Yeah. Already did my work. Worst flight. Bo, what you got for a worst flight?
Ooh, okay. Worst flight. I'm gonna go with the Chicago Bears. You lose a game. It's a good game. Sunday Night Football. You lose on the last play of the game. I think I was on the East Coast. It was like 11:30 when that game ended. Obviously 10:30 in Chicago. They probably didn't get home until
They just got home.
6 a.m. Yeah, exactly.
just got
So
home.
that's a long flight, late game on the West Coast. That's a red eye, baby. Tough loss at the very last minute, but even worse, those West Coast, Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football games are fucking terrible. Terrible travel situation. Bears, worst flight.
Okay.
Nate?
Facts?
Gonna go with. Damn, where's the worst flight?
From Miami to Tampa Bay. I know you're gonna say it, Nate. Just say it.
No, I wasn't even gonna do that.
That's funny, though. I thought about giving the best flight to the Bucs because, it's you're one flight closer to being put out of your misery for the season. And it's a really short flight. Just got to fly over Alligator Alley.
What do you mean, man? They're the driver's seat. I don't know what you're talking
They're in
about.
the driver's seat, bro. They're in the driver's seat the way that that Gonzaga coach was in the driver's seat driving around.
The way that the
Dawg.
Steelers are in the driver's seat for your inter USA walking trip.
Yep.
Dare we say pilot seat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're in the pilot seat. Yeah,
Worst-
that's good.
Worst flight is going to the Giants. The Giants flying back. Just like if this is Chris's favorite flight or worst flight, leaving Vegas, right?
Oh, nothing better than leaving that hellhole.
Is it better or worse flight?
Seriously.
There's nothing better than leaving that hellhole. I know there's a lot of people like, wait, you don't like Vegas? There's no trees.
Chris hates Vegas, yo.
It's the fucking worst.
I'm with you.
It's so far. It might as well be China. It's so far away. You go there, you lose your ass, dude. You just go there to donate money. You can bet from your damn phone now. Like, that was the only point to ever go in there. What are you going to see a show? Fuck out of here, man.
You don't
Nightclub till 7 a.m.? I'm 40. One time I was in a fucking nightclub, and I saw Ed Too Tall Jones sitting there at the table next to me, sitting there all big as shit, old as shit to be in the club. And I was like, man, I don't need to be in the club anymore. I'm going to end up looking like Ed Too Tall Jones, dude.
But also, too, the
Swear off
Giants-
clubbing.
And the Giants, they got the worst flight because they're not getting the first pick anymore. That's why.
Yeah.
And
They won that.
Jackson Dart may be best flight, though, because he's like, we don't got to pick that fucking
Right.
Boy Scout from Indiana, dude. It'd fuck up my vibe.
then the Giants are like, surprise, Diego Pavia.
Surprise, motherfucker. We're going to draft the kid.
Surprise.
That has more. It might have more swag than you. Imagine that.
Yeah,
Imagine
ooh.
them in a fucking meeting room
No,
together.
Diego Pavia's got that, like,
They have a
that
swag off.
sketchy swag, dude.
Yeah, he's got that shit to him, man. He's like, yeah, I agree with you, Chris.
And the Giants,
is that
they've done this-
swag?
The
No,
Giants-
it's just untrustworthiness.
They've done this before. Last year, literally one on 12/29/2024, the Giants had the number 1 pick all sewn up. They beat the Colts in Week 17 and lost it, just like this week. Chris, your worst flight?
Worst flight. Some people never think about this, but the hat and T-shirt games, what happens to them when they're on the road and you don't get the hat and T-shirt? Worst flight, all the AFC North Championship T-shirts and hats sitting in boxes on the Pittsburgh Steelers fucking team playing home. I was just thinking last night, I got to go to Kilimanjaro in a couple months. Me and Reed can pass them out because that's where they go, right? They go to these foreign countries. I'm telling you, I'm going to be walking up the mountain and seeing one of the porters wearing a fucking AFC North Championship T-shirt with the Steelers logo on there.
That's so great.
I'll bring them over there, dude. Just send them to me. Worst flight.
Yeah, NFL, hit us up. We'll take them for you. No problem. Everybody all the shirts that you printed are not going to use.
Yeah.
Over there anywhere.
That's a write-off for the Waterboys organization, Chris. That's smart,
right.
man.
That's right.
How many minutes of NFL film will we earn if we bring shirts over to
None. They're pigs.
1 second.
Charles Barkley's right. They're a bunch of fucking pigs. There was a shot last night. When Christian McCaffrey broke that run on the left sideline, did you notice his bald strength coach, presumably his strength coach, flailing his arms around and running? Do you remember this guy? Did y'all see him? Well, I wanted to show him, but I was like, would we get in trouble for showing somebody on the sideline of a game on All 22 if I cropped out the game action? No, that's just that's a video of Booker trying to decapitate another quarterback. I'm going to hit Booker with a build, dude. But yeah, the NFL is too greedy. We'll never get away with it.
All right, let's vote. We had AFC North Championship T-shirts on the Steelers flight, Bears, and Giants. Tanner.
Steelers T-shirts.
Shirts.
Yep.
It's unanimous. That is a bad flight.
Runaway winner.
And I mean, shout out all the staffers that probably have to load those.
Yeah.
They loaded them off, and they probably have to load them back on.
Yeah.
Did you remember to get the shirts? Don't forget the shirts.
Yeah, those fucking shirts.
Oh, damn it. Shirts. All right, Bevel Conway, Chris.
Ooh, Bevel Conway. Man, why don't I go last?
Or Nate.
It's like at a restaurant. You go, babe.
Or Bo.
I'm ready. All right. You know what, guys? I kind of mentioned this earlier when we talked about when we glazed the Eagles. But there was something about that game that just looked so good. I texted our group chat. I don't think we ever got to wear the white unis with the green helmets and then the black pants, and the Bills unis looked nice and tight too. But the rain was coming down, and then the fourth or the 2-point conversion to win the game with. You got one play to do it. It's raining. It's a miserable December game. It's a defensive game. That to me was the Bevel Conway. There's something about that I loved. And then there's a shot, where they're showing the rain pouring down right in front of the stadium lights. I thought that was really cool. I like that. I like that experience.
Okay, I'll give you a Bevel Conway. Let's go to college. Penn State, Clemson. Classic uniforms, a nice balance of colorways, right? You got the blue and the orange, the navy and the orange, nice balance. Playing at the Pinstripe Bowl where they don't take care of the grass, and it looked like an old school college football game to me. That's the thing of beauty. Look at that right there. Look at that. You get the orange, you get the blue, and you get Dabo Swinney losing a bowl game. Nothing better than that, which is pretty tough to do when the team is built in the name, image, and likeness of God, and you find a way to beat him with an interim head coach. Shout out to Marcus Hagens, wide receivers coach at Penn State. That was just a thing of beauty. I like that game for some reason.
Those Penn State helmets are sweet.
Yeah, that's clean.
That is clean.
Is that snow on the side of the field, too?
I was about to say, it sure is.
Come on.
A little bit of a dusting. Nate?
Bevel Conway is going to the Pop-Tart Bowl trombone slide cover, which is fire. It looked like a
trombone slide cover.
Yes, it looks like a long ass Pop-Tart.
Oh, that's funny.
It's the slide cover on the trombone
is a Pop-Tart.
Yeah, it's a Pop-Tart. And just as a whole, the marketing and the visual and the details of the Pop-Tart Bowl, I think, is just a bevy.
It's the best thing in college sports.
It's a Bevel Conway.
Yeah.
And I laugh just thinking about it whoever came up with this big marketing plan, like I feel like they had to be nervous going in to pitch all this. Because this is like either the person is like all the way in, it's like, yo, this is awesome, or they're like, get the fuck out of here.
Nah,
like,
dude.
You want an edible live mascot? Like, get out of here. Like, no one's going for it.
Speaking of edibles, it feels like their focus group was all on edibles.
Yeah.
When they were like, let's blow this bowl game out. I think they did such a great
Let's
job.
lean into it.
So good. The toaster at the end, pulling the toaster
It's
down.
the best tradition in
oh
fucking
my
sports.
goodness, bro. I think
And the
that's
funny part
so
is they
great.
want to be eaten and they want to be toasted.
Yeah.
It's
their dream.
It's hilarious. How quickly did that BYU coach eat that Pop-Tart?
Oh my God. And let me
He inhaled it.
Also, let me remind people out there, you're a borderline psycho if you just eat a Pop-Tart raw without a toaster.
Dog, I used to eat only raw.
Some of them weren't bad raw.
But it's just like they're not. No, I'm not saying they're bad raw, but like they're meant to be heated
Did
up.
you see cinnamon and strawberry got in the Pop-Tart Hall of Fame? Which begs the question, how long does blueberry have to wait?
That's a great question.
Now we're gonna be doing.
Is blueberry not first ballot? Like, what's going on, dude?
Honestly, I
Look
think
how quick he ate that fucking Pop-Tart, bro. I like this coach a
S'mores
lot.
should be up there.
You know what he said after the game?
S'mores is the number one.
S'mores is
the
It
good.
might.
Tripping.
Can
Blueberry.
I admit something?
Blueberry, it's
I'm
healthy.
not sure I've ever heated up a Pop-Tart.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
me neither.
Ever.
Oh, you're
Me
missing
neither.
out.
Try it out.
It's gonna change. You're missing out. It's
I
gonna
don't think that's that crazy.
Like, I think if you like Pop-Tarts now, if you heat one up, you're going to be like,
No, but then you might burn your mouth. At
I'm
least when it's
missing
room
out.
temp, I can
think
get
if it
right
was
down to
like-
business.
I think if it was like freezing a candy bar, you know, like you can still enjoy the candy bar as
Or
is.
cold
it makes it a
pizza.
lot better. Yeah.
I love cold pizza. I think it's almost as good as hot pizza.
Back to the. I think for the Hall of Fame for the Pop-Tarts, I think that's the ones that have died. Am I correct? Is that I think it's
really?
the past two that have died.
Oh, so it's like in memoriam.
Yes.
So they don't even
They're
get
retired.
to enjoy their.
No, they're dead. They got 8.
That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. You said they got 8. I thought you said something else. That's crazy.
All right, Bevel Conway. My vote. I'm going Pop-Tart Bowl.
Yeah, I'm going Pop-Tart
It's
Bowl.
just such a
Trombone
great
slide covers.
Pop-Tart Bowl is just fucking awesome.
It is
Bang.
such a great scene, dude.
It's so unnecessarily great.
Oh,
Something
Cowboy,
we
I
can
want
all
to send
agree
you
on.
something that the late entry for anti-Bevel Conway.
Mm-hmm. No, you'd be the first entry.
Put it. Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yep.
Is this anti-Bevel Conway?
Anti-Bevel Conway.
Well, I just want to say this. I'm gonna. What I'm sending you is anti-Bevel,
Okay.
but I'm pushing way the fuck back on that Eagles-Bills matchup being beautiful.
Really?
Dude, black and green versus red and blue, like it didn't have the balance, dude. It didn't have the balance.
I think it was the rain for me,
and the turf.
but I just thought the black was cool.
I think it's the worst.
So this is
Is
the
it
anti.
yours?
This is my anti-Bevel Conway. This fan is out of control, zooming in on Tyler Lockett's sunroof, dog. But Tyler Lockett can go out there and get buckets, and he is just hanging on for dear life, which I respect the fuck out of that dude. That is awesome, dude. I've always had a lot of respect for him, but
You're just ready for the season to be over.
That
You're
is
just like I'm
that is
not,
really rude.
bro. Like
Rude.
you're just like I'm not gonna call my barber. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna go buy a $30 shaver where I can just at least get that shit off and bald me up for the game.
it's also like I play for the Raiders right now, dude.
Yeah. Like, come on.
But like that's what I mean. At the very least, this is
Nobody's
like
watching us.
like at least have a fresh baldy.
No, it's not. That's nuts to me that he's just letting it go like that, dude.
But I guess, I mean, you can hatfish people, like if you're not on the field.
Catfish people.
Right.
Did you guys see the FIU shoulder pads? Did you watch the FIU UTSA game? Which, by the way, McCown's son was playing in the game. Quarterback
yeah,
UTSA.
Oh my God,
he's a
got
fucking good
blasted.
player. He got damn near decapitated,
got
but he's
blasted.
tough like his dad, dude.
Yeah.
His dad's one of the toughest fucking quarterbacks that we ever faced, dude. As a D line, we used to talk about him all the time. Also, coolest dude ever.
He's wrapped up in some.
Anyway, his son can play, but he almost got decapitated. Look at the FIU uniforms, though. I know I'm just throwing a lot at you. Look at these eyes on the shoulder pads, dude. Yeah, there you go. Is that hideous or what?
Ooh.
They could have been accented more and really pop.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's too bad.
I kind of like it.
You like them?
The Owls.
I'm indifferent.
I'm the same person I used to like.
It's not,
the
not dissimilar from the
like the minor league
helmet
baseball
here.
team. What is it? The Lookouts.
This
they
one?
have those.
No,
they have
the
those
Hilltopper
hats
thing here.
with the yeah.
Yeah, but that's for a helmet. You know, if you put eyes on a helmet, but you ever seen like a body part on a shoulder plate?
Oh, I see
No.
what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyways, that's not my submission is Lockett.
Okay, Bo.
Oh my God, bro. I
It'd be hard to
regret
beat Lockett.
to inform you guys that I tuned in to the press conference from Lions fan Ryan Kennedy. And that is my anti-Bevel Conway. Just the image of him sitting there on a fold-out table, backwards Lions hat, talking his bullshit, holding his little press conference, leaning into his 15 minutes of fame because he was able to go DK Metcalf into slapping him. That was such a bad look, in my opinion. That guy, dude, it seemed like some sort of Charlie said this, and I just can't stop thinking about it. Like some early internet skit, you know, it was so
Dude,
bad.
that was an early internet
anti-Bevel for
skit.
sure.
That was exactly what it looked like. And I got a DM. Look at this guy, backwards Lions hat.
Fucker.
That's the wrong type of tism. He got it. He got the wrong type. For real.
Not my type.
No,
I
not
got a
my
different
type.
kind.
Not my type either.
Yeah.
That dude, man. Something about him. But like his lawyers.
That's the highlight of
when
his
they were sitting
life.
there- if you watch that video, these lawyers, I feel like they're sitting there like, what the fuck?
This is a
did we get
DM I got. I'm convinced this DM came from him. Allegedly. Okay? Joe P is the guy's name. Your lengthy diatribe on public airwaves earlier today, repeatedly accusing Ryan Kennedy, the fan who DK Metcalf punched, of using a racial slur and shouting the N-word, was highly inappropriate. Not only did you never include any semblance of allegedly or if he made those statements during your rant, but none of the fans, including African Americans, seated nearby. Which, dude, you're so racist if that's how you talk, including the African Americans. Or a stadium employee expressed any reaction, which one or more of them clearly would have if the severity of your defamatory accusations had been factual. In addition, Mr. Kennedy's attorney with the Head Murphy law firm have emphatically stated the allegations are completely false and then added that within the past 24 hours, their client has experienced harassment, threats, messages advocating violence, which your abhorrent conduct has undoubtedly exacerbated. Holy shit. Did you have a thesaurus to write this? Your slanderous, unlawful statements merit an immediate public apology and warrant consideration for civil charges to be filed against you by his law firm. That's the DM I got after we talked about it last week.
That's so great.
You know what I said?
Dude, just reply and just say touch grass.
No, you know what I said? I said, fucking sue me. It'll be good for the pod.
Yep.
Good luck.
Hit him with the too long not reading that.
Yeah, no, I hit him with the please.
And I love
By all means. That's probably him.
I love the gotcha moment that they went back and they seen that like that maybe he was saying derogatory stuff.
Yeah.
But when DK played for Seattle and they were at a different stadium and the NFL has record of this same guy and DK trying to get this guy kicked out of a game because he was saying crazy stuff. So it's just like whether you were saying it that time or before, get the fuck out of here. Dude.
Oh,
There's a pattern of behavior
So
here.
yeah, the press conference was so funny because he was like, I didn't say anything, and I got to take my glasses off for this. He was like, I didn't say anything. He was like, come to think of it, he had to think about it. He was like, I don't think I've ever said the N-word at a Lions game.
Yeah.
I was like, you had to think about that?
What about a Seahawks?
I was like, he was like, come to think of it, I don't do that at NFL stadiums. I usually wait till I get home.
Yep.
That was a skit, dude. That was like a skit. So yeah, if that's the dude DMing me, brother, sue me. Sue the fuck out of me, buddy.
Chris, someone in the chat goes, the guy with all the shit on his wall with green glasses and a hoodie, don't give a fuck, homie, LOL.
Yeah, I don't care,
Talking about
dude.
you.
I don't care, bro. Dude, I was face to face with death last night when Caleb Williams had the ball with 2:15 to go. I'm not afraid of shit, dude. I'm not afraid of some lawsuit from that guy. His
Face to face with
representation.
death
has
when
to
you're
be so
shivering
good.
and coughing your lungs up. Dude.
Yeah, I was shivering and coughing. I'm about to be doing it again. All right, so what's
Nate,
next?
Anti-bevel.
I'm just gonna give it to Bo. I'm gonna bow out of this one.
Yeah.
Because I had like a similar.
One vote for Bo. Nate, Nolan.
I'm going with Bo as well. This has been a rough year for the PR image of Lions fans. Like they They just sucked this
Started
year.
an e-course.
The fans.
Yeah.
You know? Like sounding off in the comments about not getting talked about. It's like, come on.
Rough year for what kind of fan?
The PR image of Lions fans.
Oh yeah, they
Like,
had a rough year, dude.
I really liked them before.
Seriously, I'm gonna tell you what.
You know when it started?
When did it start?
St. Brown doing that damn.
Well,
dance.
that whole
doing that dance. It changed the trajectory around there.
Yeah.
And then I love David Montgomery, and on St. Brown's podcast.
Oh yeah, I know.
Being like, yeah, your brother one time, he raised his voice at me in front of company.
I was gonna whoop his ass.
Because I was gonna whoop his ass, but it was his house. And the way that you're saying that to the person that you say that, and then
He's
to his
on the
brother,
Zoom.
and then his
He's
brother
right there.
is right there on the Zoom, and you just like stone cold face like, and then Ahmad like
He goes,
let it
"Let's just move
pause,"
on.
and he goes, "Let's just move on."
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious. I'm gonna tell you what though. No, I'm honest shit. You got to understand. I know that you've been going through it for like your whole lifetime as a Detroit Lions fan, but you know, like you got to act like you've been there before because you have now. You have now. You got a great head coach. It was a tough year, but I did notice this year their brand kind of. And we went to camp, and again, it's the rule of the internet, dude. Everybody we met in Detroit was so fucking cool.
Totally.
Their fans were awesome.
Yeah.
I did a lap around there because like shocking. Some of the people were like, "Hey, can I have your autograph?" I'm like, "Really?" But they were so nice, man. Like everybody was so nice, dude. So you can't take online people seriously. They're just mad.
Right.
I don't want to make it all about Detroit fans, but it has been a weird year. Ryan Kennedy was the icing on the cake.
Tanner?
Dude's a boner.
The only thing that makes me mad is racism and animal abuse.
Oh my god.
Tanner, your vote?
Yeah, I'm going with Bo. Let's go ahead. I think it's a sweep.
Worst
Good old fashioned.
Worst seat, best seat.
Best seat.
Anti-bevel.
Best seat.
Best seat.
I got a best seat. My best seat is going to Booger McFarland at the Peach Bowl as a college player, saying he used his $987 per diem.
That shit went
in
fast,
one night.
didn't it? Hey, Book, that shit went fast, didn't it?
At Magic City, eating wings and enjoying entertainment. And as someone who had a bowl game in Jacksonville.
We did.
And they had an establishment called Mascaras. I didn't have $987.
Yeah, what kind of per diem were we getting?
I think we got $537.
How did they get more than us? He's older than us.
I have no idea. He's probably better. He probably got some under the ground.
Yeah,
You went to LSU, right? You probably got that little.
No, he's a Florida State guy, is he not?
Or you sold your gift to someone and took someone else's per diem.
Dude, I like Boog. We should get Boog on the show to talk about strip clubs, man. Now you're not going to be able to get rid of us, man. Boog, we're going to be.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we found our niche.
But the bowl game, but spending your money at the strip club during a bowl game week, I'm sure it's a story that's not talked about a lot, but I'm sure it's a story that happens all the time.
Well, you know, the funny thing is when you go into an establishment like this, they make you take all the money out and get it in singles. And then, like, what are you going to do, walk out of there with a bunch of singles?
Yeah.
You got to spend it.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to walk out with a stack of
if they're good
singles.
if they're good at their jobs, if they're good at their job.
Man, if you're a college kid and you're
can't
going to
walk out
Magic
with any
City,
money.
that per diem is going so fast.
What? And then you
You
realize
walk
how
in there
good-
like, damn,
And
bro.
then how good the wings are, too. It's gone.
Yeah, the wings, dude. I'd be just sitting at the bar eating the wings, man.
I'll
Those
never
wings are
forget,
incredible.
dude. We were in the Rose Bowl. We got our per diem straight to the body shop, baby. So
Was that a strip club?
Oh yeah, entertainment center.
I don't know that we ever went to a strip club in any of the bowl. Well, you did. I don't think I went to one.
Mascara.
Fucking square.
I'll never forget that in Jacksonville.
I was like, I'm going to play well. I'm going to be in bed early.
Fucking coke.
Loser.
Not going to matter anyways. We're going to lose the Gator Bowl. All right.
Your best seat.
Oh, my best seat.
Or both
My best seat is it's the James Harrison thing, dude. It's the remember the fan, was it the Cleveland fan
Incredible.
that he decapitated on the field because the guy walked out all blacked out. They had a reunion, bro. This is definitely some NFL. It's really good that they did this the same week that DK and Ryan Kennedy got into it. It's kind of like one of those things. But look at this. It's pretty cool deal.
Shaking hands.
Look at them. They met. He tackled this fan 20 years ago, and they get together and eat a nice meal together. Now, this meal had to get awkward after a little bit. After the beginning of like hey, what you been up to? Anyway, but the funniest thing was James Harrison said that he goes, "Do you remember what you said after I body slammed you?" He was like, "Man, I body slammed you on your head. I got on top of you. You looked up and you were kind of getting your bearings." And he goes, "This is how I knew you were fucked up." He goes, "You looked up at me and you said, 'I got you right where I want you now.'" Is that not classic? But also a really heartwarming story. You know what I've learned about James Harrison since I've been out of football? He was on Inside the NFL, and as intimidating as he is, he seems like a really nice guy. Like he's definitely serious, but he's a nice dude. And this was I thought this was pretty cool.
And now this fan,
I'm sure he got paid to do this, but
man, this fan is apparently sober. He's been sober. Like that moment helped him get
that's super cool.
Back into like, hey, I'm kind of losing.
That moment got him sober, but also gave him CTE. So yeah, you can't drink anymore.
Bo.
My best seat. This is so great, dude. I was dying about this last night. Watching the Sunday Night Football game last night. Purdy makes a nice play. You know, he dances around, throws that touchdown or whatever, and he goes, "That looked very Patrick Mahomes-esque." Mike Tirico immediately calls him out for it, talking about how he's like, "Yeah, you know, a lot of people online are saying that you compare every quarterback to Patrick Mahomes." And Collinsworth had no idea what the fuck he was talking about. I don't think for a second.
Online.
He goes, "Yeah, I'll continue to do that." And then no, he goes, "Yeah, and I love memes." Collinsworth talking about how he likes the memes. He's not self-aware enough for that. You know,
No,
he doesn't. He's not there.
He's not.
The best part was just Tirico is just waiting. You know what I mean? Just waiting to roast Collinsworth with something like that. It was fun. And then like 2 drives later, he compared one of the tight ends to Travis Kelce. And I was just like, "God damn it, dude! Learn from your mistakes."
I'll give you a worse seat. Is this worse seat?
Hold on, we're gonna vote.
Oh, my bad.
Nolan.
Snake draft.
Best seat. I'm gonna go with Nate.
Booger McFarland.
Booger.
Tanner.
I like Booger too.
Yeah.
Boom.
So I'll give you best seat or worst seat, right?
Worst seat.
I already forgot. So no, worst seat. Worst seat's probably. I'm gonna say it's Arthur Blank, because a few years ago they had a chance at Lamar Jackson, and now it's seeming like at least the machine is putting some feelers out there to see if like this is going to be a thing this offseason. And you're going to have to probably overpay for a player who's got 3 more years of mileage, and you've been through Desmond Ridder, Kirk Cousins giant deal, fucking Michael Penix draft. You could have had Lamar Jackson, and now you're probably going to have to overpay to get him and end up with the 30-year-old version of him. Worst seat, whichever team, and I'll use the Falcons, had an opportunity and didn't do it, and now we're going to be in the market for him 3 years later.
Yep. It's a good one. Bo?
Pretty simple one here from your boy BA. My worst seat is Justin Herbert in the pocket versus the Texans defensive line. Pretty self-explanatory if you watch that game. Fucking tough place to be, Jay Herbo.
Yeah, but he's such a pussy though, right? He's just got shaggy hair. He's a
social media quarterback.
Yeah. Totally. They called him a social media quarterback at one point.
Acho.
Dude, Acho lives on social media.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Anyway.
Worst seat, Jags fans watching the game on Fox, where they consistently, instead of showing game replays, showed Phillip Rivers' family in the box, Phillip Rivers' high school team on the sideline or in the stands, and literally one critical part in the game where one of the Jaguars players, after a tackle, just came up with the ball and it looked like it got stripped out in real time. They did not show the replay, and instead they talked about the great story it was that Phillip Rivers was back and losing games. So, worst seat, Jags fan.
Yeah.
Tanner, your vote.
I'm going Arthur Blank.
Arthur Blank.
Yeah, it's fucking seems like a nice guy, but Jesus, man.
Nolan.
I'm going with Bo. Herbert in the pocket. We talk about unblocked
terrible.
pressures when design fails. There was untouched pressures in this
Dude,
game.
it looked
Guys
like
just not even
practice
getting
2
hands on.
minutes.
It's
No
unbelievable.
question.
Yeah, it's going to Bo. Justin Herbert. Poor guy.
But I'm not gonna lie, it was interesting the first time. The box,
Yeah.
them being like, yeah, this is Philip Rivers' whole like immediate.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He probably had to get 2
Dude, he
boxes.
probably had 2 boxes.
Yeah.
Seeing everybody in there, just the lineage of his kids, his grandkids, and his wife, and
The
whoever
lineage.
else was in there. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, that is cool, but like, come on, like once you show it once, it's like, all right, we get it. Like,
Hollow man.
Josh Allen. I'm going to give it to Josh Allen. You got to play better, brother. You got to know the situation, my brother in Christ.
True.
You know? Hot crazy scale, though. You know what I'm saying?
Roller coaster on that.
After he did that, I was like, man,
who is it?
the
Is
scale.
No, I got a hollow man. Am I saying his name right? Trent Balky.
Balky.
I feel like he's a hollow man in the sense that you have a coach get interviewed and basically say, I'll only coach here if you get rid of the GM. And they counter and say, we'll call you back tomorrow.
Yeah.
And in that meantime,
They just fired
they
the GM.
get rid of Baki.
Well, isn't it interesting that Liam Cohen, his resume was so short compared to a lot of guys?
Yes.
They knew this guy was a hell of a coach.
Like you had to, if you're willing to do that, like if that was his last, like his, why wouldn't you take this job if they asked him that?
No,
like,
I know. I'm just saying they had to know. Like, it's amazing how it seemed like in league circles everybody knew that this guy was special.
he was next up.
Because I think he is kind of special.
I think so too.
And it follows the rule of the worse your opening press conferences, the better you are as a coach.
It might. I mean, he's doing
Another thing is for
doing
Trent,
well.
he's watching Harbaugh crush it in the second team, and Harbaugh and him never got along in fucking San Francisco. He's just like wherever he goes, a second fiddle.
Second fiddle. Yeah, but I would say hollow man, just even though it's not really hollow, but it's more like
It's hollow.
It's hollow
Yeah,
FOMO,
things are
right?
hollow.
It's like
Yeah,
hollow
yeah.
FOMO.
Things are hollow.
Yeah,
hollow.
like just seeing like, damn, I just left this squad. If they'd have gave me a chance, like would it have been the same?
Yes.
Or damn, like they just turned it around like that. Like I was in that building. I seen
right.
what type of shit was in there.
Yeah.
And it's all going well. So that's my
Bo?
hollow man.
What are we on? Hollow Man?
Hollow man.
I talked about this a little bit earlier. Kind of blew my Hollow Man load, but Fred Johnson forgetting his helmet and going on the field and then panic running back and grabbing it from the bench. Pretty benign Hollow Man, but like, dude, I've had that thought so many times. Or like, you know, you had that dream where you can't lace your cleats up or you can't find your helmet or whatever. And then you see, I saw the funniest clip on social media, man. Like Jordan Mailata is like looking at him and like you could tell like he didn't realize he wasn't wearing his helmet for a second, which is hilarious considering it was pissing rain. And then he just takes off to the sideline to grab his helmet. And they showed a little clip of his helmet just sitting there on the little warmer behind the bench. I thought that was so funny. That killed me.
My vote, hollow man, it is Josh Allen. Nolan?
I'm going with Trent Baalke.
Tanner?
I'm going Josh Allen.
See, that's how I get a win today, shitting on my favorite quarterback.
Mm.
All right. STL Memorial.
STL
I just sent you my STL Memorial. You know, not enough people are talking about the college sport of meat judging. Sorry. Texas A&M's meat judging team finishes a successful season with a national title. You talk about Josh Allen
this is
giving
a real
quarter
headline?
of a cow to people.
Yeah. This is important though.
Yeah, it is important.
Yo,
judging
my man,
meat.
Look, we're laughing. But
No, I'm not laughing.
This is what my man Judd does. Like,
Yeah.
this is like his real job. He goes to farms.
Your man
You
Judge,
actually like
Judd
what
is
this
a
was
meat
designed
watcher.
to get you to like be
To
like,
be like,
what?
pause.
Come
Be like, pause. Nah, this is as a guy who as a meat connoisseur.
on. Yeah.
Pause.
Wow.
Top comment: D1 meat inspectors.
Yeah. Meat inspectors.
I mean, if these people weren't good at it, though, think about like.
Is that a liberal arts college or?
That's
about what
Texas
type of-
A&M, bro.
what type of
They march around with torches,
Oh, wow.
just like it's regular, dude.
Oh god.
So, anyways, midnight
Nate?
yell, dude.
STL Memorial.
Mm-hmm.
I am going with. You getting Shuck tonight? I'm giving this Tyler Shuck last 3 games. He's playing out of his mind. Young rookie that I would say probably not a lot of people knew until 5-6 weeks ago. And I just feel like, hey, you step in, you take things in stride, and he's been good. I mean,
Yeah.
not a lot of bright spots down there in New Orleans, but I think for him, he's made a name for himself. Whether he'll get to continue to start down there, I just feel like it's still a good shot. Like being a rookie quarterback, not knowing if you're going to get any playing time, where your playing time is going to come from, if you're even going to get in.
Yep.
And to be on a team like that where it's like it's not the best supporting cast for a rookie quarterback, I think he's been playing really well.
Shot for Shuck. Bo? STL?
Oh, dude, this is so funny. The Giants Raiders game. Side judge Dominic. I gotta figure out his name. I can't even read my own damn writing. Dominique Pender for the Giants Raiders game. First of all, nobody watched that game. Okay, so it's in the spirit of the STL Memorial. Dr. Fax. There's a fight on the sideline. And there's some funny shit on social media about it today with like Russell Wilson. Jameis got in this dude's face. Anyway, this
what was up
motherfucker,
with
this
that?
guy judge, sprinted like 30 yards, climbed over benches, was pushing his way through players.
That was awesome.
Go and break this thing up, man. What a warrior. You know, that guy takes his job seriously. And I was kind of looking into him a little bit. And it turns out he's like some sort of CEO at like a local bank or something like that. Like,
Which
wow,
is
that
half the
ridiculous.
problem, dude.
Yeah, right?
This
That's
is
half the
incredible
problem.
athletic prowess for a referee, but like these guys shouldn't have 2 jobs.
No, he's got 2 jobs, and he takes his reffing very seriously based on that little clip. If you watch him, man, it is a great clip. That dude is weaving, duck, dip, dodging, climbing over benches and shit. So yeah,
No
that's why
matter-
it's STL Memorial.
No matter what.
Puka might be onto something.
Yeah, no matter what, if you get blocked into the fucking Gatorades, you have to fight. Like, you have to.
Yeah, you got to.
Like, you have to fight
Yep.
no matter what. I don't care if you're fighting the whole team.
Yep.
It's just like, dog, don't block me into the fucking Gatorade.
You can't do that to me. You can't Trevor Penning me.
That shit sucks.
You can't Michael Orr me.
Right?
Tanner,
Blindside.
your vote for STL?
I'll take the meat.
Yes.
Wow.
We're double meat over
Good
here. Are we
job.
going triple?
Triple
Double
meat.
meat
Triple
watches.
meat.
Triple meat?
Triple me.
Triple
We're
meat.
back in it.
Fucking hell, man.
Heading
Triple
into
meat.
game
Get you
ball.
guys.
Heading into game ball, Chris and Bo are tied at the top with 3, Nate with 2.
Wow.
All right, game ball. Who wants to
Ooh,
start?
it's on.
I'll go.
I'll
Since
start.
I can't
Okay,
win.
good.
You can tie.
Yeah.
I could.
3-way because of the meat.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
I'm giving it to my guy, whether I win or not. Parker Washington, Mr. Washington to you if you don't know him. Get acquainted on knowing this guy. He is a kick returner or a third or fourth string wide receiver playing like a number 1. And he just, week after week, he's been a safety valve for Trevor on some of these deep passes.
He could be their Edelman.
Bro, he really could be. And it's just the scramble. When the scramble drill starts happening, you best believe they throwing the ball to Parker Washington or Jacoby Myers. But Parker Washington, he knows how to find his spots on the field and get open. And I think he deserves a game ball.
Well, this is game ball.
Game ball. Bo?
Okay.
I was going to do Parker Washington. No, I'm just joking.
You have to.
My game ball. My game ball goes to Derrick Henry's. Dude, he looked fucking
That was
good,
insane.
man. He was a battering ram. Like, you just got to respect it, especially where the Ravens are at offensively and, kind of where they're at fighting for the AFC North. He had 36 carries, which is nuts late in December for a guy who's been doing it for a long time. 4 touchdowns, 215 yards. He had a whole bunch of other accolades and is, rapidly climbing a lot of all-time lists for the NFL. Like, he was playing hard as fuck, man. You got to respect it. He gets my game ball. King Henry, stud.
Yeah, it'd be cool to be him for a play. To feel like
Seriously,
he feels
man.
for a play. Just speed bump a bunch of 200-pound people like it's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, game ball. I'm giving it to Kyle Shanahan, man. I know I glazed him earlier, but when you consider that was a quintessential Kyle Shanahan win. The defense is giving up 40 points, whether you like it or not. By the way, you got your guy back in Saleh, but it's a personnel issue. You've been missing Bosa, Warner. You've been missing, you missed your quarterback Purdy for a long time. You were missing Pearsall. You don't have Ayuk out there. There's countless other guys that have just been injured, and maybe we should be starting to talk about the strength and conditioning program out there. But the head coach is just such a weapon when he controls the offense, and he controls it the way Kyle Shanahan does. When I watch them play, I'm not sure there's a better coach group of individuals in the NFL. And I didn't say talented or best, but best coached, especially with the multitude of things they do in the run game. Kyle Shanahan, I think he's coach of the year this year. He's game ball this week. Had a chance at the 1 seed.
All right, game ball voting. I am going with Derrick Henry. Tanner?
Beat.
Yeah, I'm going with Derrick Henry.
He's not going to come in the studio and beat y'all up.
Never know.
Yeah, you never know.
For what it's worth, I was going Kyle Shanahan. Feel very fortunate as a football fan
That
to
was amazing.
watch him in his prime.
He's
Watch the
amazing.
All-22 every week.
Kyle, I hope
He
you
is
see
so
this.
good.
If you
Come
need
on
a
the
pass
pod,
rusher,
brother.
it's going to be $5 million.
Let's go. You're in?
Chick-fil-A in the
$5 million?
facility.
Fuck, I have $5 million. I'll walk across America.
We could fund
That's a
it.
lot of zones.
For
Yeah, we could
90
fundraise that for
mil,
sure.
would you get your jaw broken?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody break my jaw?
Yeah, the Jake Paul.
Easy, dude.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Hey, right here. Right here.
Right here. Right in the kiss.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, the last
Congrats.
thing, yeah.
Congrats, Bo. Good job.
Good job, Bo.
BetMGM Moments.
Hell yeah.
Is that your first win?
What? No, I
Last
win
one-
every week. I'm the
Last
fucking
one of
man.
the year. Last one of the year, fellas.
Oh, no, we got some
No,
more.
no.
We got some more. We're going to run these through the playoffs, player.
Say it again.
It's just beginning.
Of the
Oh, Fax is
the
making a
actual
2026 joke.
calendar.
Oh, yeah, you're doing the year thing. See you next year. Hey, see you next year.
I like that.
I
Got
mean,
us.
next show is going to be next year, right?
It will.
It will.
I'm going to be, that's the thing. I get to go to Florida tomorrow.
For
Florida.
Yeah, it's a good time to go on
Can't wait for
vacation.
this.
But first,
Sick
before you
as
go,
fucking
we're going to
shit.
watch a little Rams-Falcons tonight. You guys got a lead?
Okay, so let's talk this out. I kind of feel like the Falcons covering is a decent
Oh,
possibility.
yeah. What's that man?
Especially with the back door being open.
Falcons +7. The total's 49.
Kyle pitched 2 anytime touchdowns. He's been balling out of control lately, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see
Yeah.
who's public.
Contract year.
Who's public
Let me
tonight?
get it.
Who do you think's public tonight? If y'all had to guess,
I bet the
The Rams, right?
Rams, yeah.
I
for
would
sure.
think
Yeah,
Rams,
Rams.
yeah.
yeah. So
Am I overthinking
Rams
this?
are public,
What
61-39.
that means it's going to be a you like that.
It's gonna be you like that
You
night,
like
dude.
that night. Kirk Cousins.
you like that. Falcons lose by 3.
And honestly, I could see it if you want to tease it, which I I'm not a proponent of teasing totals, but I do it sometimes. It's a dirty little secret. You could tease the total down to like 42 and get the Falcons at +14, which breaks every rule in the book. But I would just, yeah, Falcons. Hey, we were right on that Indy over a week ago. It felt like 20 years ago. Anyways, be careful with these standalone games, folks. That's, as you noticed this weekend, that's when they get you. Hey, I want to do some live streams during the playoffs, man. You in the chat, would you like a live stream?
Duval.
AFC title game, Broncos, Jags, live stream. That'd be awesome.
Be a lot of smoke.
Holy mackerel.
We can get the student class going.
Dude, I
Count that?
got one, Nate.
That's 24 of
That was
them.
like
like it?
30.
It's 24. 24.
Yeah, I love it, dude. I was fucking coughing like
That's
Chris
what it
after
was.
the first time I used it.
Yeah, bro. I almost threw up the first time I used it.
What
Yeah,
do
I
you
felt
use
like I was
what?
in high school smoking reefer again, dude.
That shit is like, whoa, I'm hearing the silence.
I literally felt like the first time I got.
Do you know what I mean?
Like,
Yes.
When you get so
is
high,
going
you can
on?
hear the silence.
Yes.
That's how I would
Tinnitus?
get.
Death. Smoking death.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Take it easy. Take care. We'll see you later in the week for the preview.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. See you next year.
Bye.